Before her death, this mother left a will to her daughter, saying that when she gets married, she should marry someone with outstandingly handsome looks. And Leah quickly turned it into the biggest goal she wanted to achieve. But when she grew up and learned that she had to become the 12th wife of the aging emperor, she was deeply shocked. Immediately, she planned to run away, escaping this forced marriage. But when she found out that her husband was an emperor so handsome that flowers paled and the moon hid in shame, Leah was instantly struck by love at first sight and willingly followed him. Everyone, please follow Lisa Manhwa to watch this fascinating story. My mother, whom I considered my idol, my everything, my mother sat in the dark alley, as if losing her mind, and said and laughed, "Leah, my daughter, my darling." Haha, the little girl sitting next to her saw this and begged, "Mom, I beg you, please be sober, please." Suddenly, the mother smiled and instructed, "Listen, Leah." Then she quickly instructed, "Your husband must be someone with outstandingly handsome looks." As soon as she said this, she coughed up blood, causing Leah to cry worriedly and call out repeatedly, "Mom." Before dying, the mother did not forget to pray, "Promise to live happily, okay," she said before passing away, causing the little girl to cry out violently, "Mom." Leah kept calling her deceased mother in pain, "Mom," and so, my mother's last wish. Finally, the little girl decided to follow her mother's will, yes. Leah's eyes secretly determined with that promise, "I promise, to marry the most handsome man," and that promise became the biggest goal of my life. Back in the present, Leah was eating when she spat all the meat in her mouth out. It all stuck to the face of the man in front of her, and she stammered, "Wait, what did you just say?" He immediately repeated it once again, "You will have to become the emperor's 12th concubine." But wait, wasn't that last week's story? Currently, Leah spat out all the wine she was drinking onto his face, then stammered to confirm again, "What? No, wait, what did you just say?" His expression seemed very familiar with this. So he repeated once more, "I'm talking about you becoming the empress of the Fritten kingdom, and yeah, this is exactly my life right now. Believe it or not, the older man sitting over there is my father, Duke Uskal. Not long after my mother passed away, the Duke suddenly appeared in the slums and took me to live in the Uskal family of the Harun kingdom. But that glamorous life didn't last long. The Duke, he's been a gambling addict for many years, and the Duchess along with her daughter, Ten Haley, didn't even bother to hide their contempt for me. And so I was abandoned for 12 long years, which really made Leah uncomfortable in her heart. At this point, she questioned and repeated what the Duke had said earlier, "Didn't you say last time that I would have to become the emperor's mistress? Why suddenly Fritten?" Before Leah could finish speaking, a woman slammed a glass of wine on the table and replied loudly, "Exactly, that's what we're talking about. Just when I thought I could finally do something useful, they suddenly changed their plans. Honestly, it's a headache, and this woman with a difficult face is the Duchess Uskal." The Duchess spoke up to criticize, "What a waste of time." The Duke on this side suddenly cleared his throat to announce, "Ahem, this is the Emperor's decree, just do as you're told." Finally, she realized everything in anger, "Oh, I see, you guys are out of money, aren't you?" Although she thought so in her heart, she still had to smile and accept, "Haha, of course, I guess." At this point, the Duchess asked the Duke's mood, "So, are you happier now that it's the Fritten Emperor instead of the old Emperor?" He was confused when asked and said, "Huh." Leah was a little unhappy when she heard this, "Yeah, how fun. The Fritten Kingdom is known as the Land of Ice, where winter lasts 9 months of the year. Is the only kingdom that has to defeat not only ferocious monsters but also dark dragons. In recent years, they have expanded their territory by dominating neighboring countries. And the king who rules that kingdom is known as the bloodthirsty demon of war." At this time, the young lady worried first and spoke up to warn, "You're not planning to run away from marrying the emperor, are you?" When she heard this, she affirmed, "What? No way would I dare to do that, really, Haley. And this girl is Haley, the daughter of the Duke and Duchess." Although Leah smiled on the outside as if she was very obedient, she secretly planned in her heart, "Yeah, just keep going, say whatever you like, if you think I'll listen and get married. You're dead wrong, I've been planning since you wanted to marry me off to that old man." She was feeling triumphant when the Duke suddenly spoke up, "Oh, and another thing. The wedding will take place in 5 days." These words really startled her. She screamed out in fear, "Huh, Leah ran back to her room with tears streaming down her cheeks, As soon as she saw her burst open the door crying and running in, the maid immediately spoke up worriedly, yes, miss, what's wrong?" Leah announced the worst news of the day with difficulty, "Millie, it's bad, I'm going to get married, in 5 days. Millie was startled when she heard this and said, "Huh." She added the latter part about the fiancé to that Fritten Emperor. The more Millie heard, the more shocked she was and couldn't believe it. What, that crazy person? Leah quickly went to support Millie, who was about to faint after hearing this information. Then she didn't forget to instruct, "That's right, so hurry up and give this to Robbie." The faster the better, Millie is currently so dizzy that she wants to die. But she kept instructing endlessly, oh, check the jewelry box in the wardrobe too, take everything out and sell it for money. Millie still doesn't understand what's going on and quickly stopped her. Wait a minute, miss, what is all this about? Suddenly asked like that, Leah quickly smiled and repeated the plan to run away from the Duke's house. Oh, didn't I tell you already? I've been planning to run away for a long time. Millie was frozen by that sudden information. What? At this time she happily thought about her own escape plan and chattered, come on, Millie, think about it. Leah was very confident in herself and declared, surely I, the great Leah, would want to marry a man I don't even know, and that's right, I have only one goal in life, which is to fulfill my mother's will and marry a husband with a super handsome face. Leah had no dignity at all and kept eyeing men with overwhelmingly handsome faces. Ah, Millie, look, an angel just passed by. Millie was confused by her young lady's actions. That's just a normal person, miss. Thanks to my mother's will, I have been constantly searching for a perfect face. She not only eyed people on the street but also her teacher, causing him to helplessly remind. Well, are you focusing on today's lesson? She was engrossed in watching and was caught, making her embarrassed. Oh, of course, I'm a model student, and so little by little, I grew up to become a genuine appearance-obsessed fangirl. After listening, Millie hesitated to answer, oh, I understand. Thinking that Millie understood her, Leah happily ran over, haha, you understand me. Then she grabbed Millie's hand with extremely trusting eyes. Alright, Millie, I'm counting on you. Suddenly being trusted like this made Millie feel heavy, huh? Then she had no choice but to accept. Okay, I will definitely do it. Evening at the Duke's mansion. Leah, wearing a cloak, looked down from above to observe, is that the right place? Previously, Millie had given her the information to run away. Mr. Robbie said to meet him at midnight under the ginkgo tree on Laurel Hill. Leah thought her plan was about to succeed, so she was very excited and looking forward to it. That's right, there's still plenty of time, I just need to start moving. But at this moment, she heard some noise and looked over. She saw two butlers passing by, so Leah quickly hid. The two butlers talked to each other in surprise. Wait, isn't the wedding supposed to take place in 5 days? How would I know? Just hurry up. Everyone is preparing very urgently. Hey, where's the towel? Isn't the food ready yet? Leah was extremely panicked behind the door and couldn't understand. What the hell? What are they doing here at this hour? If I stay here any longer, I'll lose my chance to run away, she was thinking when she looked up. She saw a room full of gold-plated, making Leah's eyes light up. Then excitedly wanting to take it away. Money, of course I need it. Money and beauty have always been the most worthwhile things to invest in. They're using this expensive silk as a carpet, how extravagant. While she was grabbing gold, a shadow appeared in front of the door. Then the door was quickly opened. A man covered from head to toe walked into the room. The Duke was next to him, constantly flattering. The Duke's family mansion is usually decorated more than this. Your appearance at this time is really too surprising, we never thought the Fern Emperor would come at this time. The Emperor didn't say a word when he heard those words. He kept sweating and flattering. Please wait here for a moment, Your Majesty, we will prepare a room for you immediately. But suddenly the Emperor stopped him. Wait. Then he looked at the lump in front of him and spoke. It seems we have another guest here before us. Leah is currently lying in the blanket crying and constantly chanting, don't breathe, don't breathe, don't breathe, repeat what's important 3 times. The Emperor asked, who is it? Come out here now. Hearing this, she still refused to leave the blanket and slowly stood up wrapped from head to toe. Then she lifted the blanket off her body and put on a guilty expression. Please forgive me, you see, the truth is. At this time, the Emperor also took off his hat and cloak and ordered, quickly state your full name. And her true identity. The Emperor's handsome face appeared, which made Leah struck by love at first sight, and her heart ached. The Duke saw her appear in here and turned pale, constantly questioning, Leah, what are you doing here at this hour? Why are you in this state? The Emperor heard this and was surprised to ask. To confirm, you said, Leah. When he looked over, he saw Leah swing the blanket up strongly, then spread it straight to the Emperor's feet. Then shyly and bashfully greeted, nice to meet you, Your Majesty, Emperor Fritten. Suddenly the Emperor paused. When he saw her lift her skirt and greet him in a very formal manner, I came here as soon as I heard you set foot in the mansion, because I was in a hurry to prepare. So my appearance is a little, anyway, I am Leah Uskel, the second daughter of Duke Uskel of the Haroon Kingdom. Your future wife, your lovely bride here, Leah said while smiling and winking, sending a heart, looking very skillful. Making the Duke standing behind her only know how to collapse and want to faint. Oh. The Emperor at this time looked at Leah with a look as if he was looking at a madwoman. Leah was very proud and called to her mother above, Mom, can you see? I finally married a super handsome man. And after that greeting, the two stood looking at each other without saying anything. With a stiff atmosphere, the Duke had fainted. Suddenly Leah ran over quickly and showed the pitiful face of a young girl. Oh dear. But this sudden contact startled the Emperor. She praised without hesitation, "You're too handsome." This completely confused him. Wondering to himself, who is this woman anyway? Back to 12 hours ago, at this time the Emperor had arrived in the Harun kingdom. At the reception hall in the palace. The Emperor quickly spoke to the main point, "Your Majesty Harun, I have come to take responsibility for the prince." As soon as the prince saw him, he stammered and blamed. "The previous incident with the golden pine tree was ordered by my father." "No, by your Majesty." Your Majesty sitting next to him was also scared. Pale and quickly stopped him. "No, you idiot." Seeing the Emperor's extremely uncomfortable expression, the prince screamed in fear. "Oh." Your Majesty quickly stopped him. Wait a moment." Then His Majesty started to ramble. "I understand the importance of Kim Hoa to Fritain, that's why, even in Harun, it really wasn't intentional, anyway. Because we made a mistake, we will offer food to apologize, what do you think?" The more he listened, the more angry he became and released killing intent. "A mistake." His Majesty sweated profusely and quickly continued, and also, marriage, don't you need someone to marry? I happen to know a very lovely young lady." The Emperor's eyes were like a Yama demon. As expected, the prince screamed again in fear. "Oh." But His Majesty quickly gave the good of that girl. She possesses a special ability." This made him curious. "A special ability?" His Majesty stammered and confirmed. "Yes, that's right, a rare and extraordinary ability is sleeping deeply inside her. It will bring great prosperity to Fritain." The Emperor quickly refused, not interested, but the attendant following behind whispered a reminder. "Just accept it, Your Majesty, you know you need a fiancé. You have spent all your time on the battlefield without an heir, and this has caused many nobles to start worrying that the royal family will no longer have descendants." The Emperor heard these words and didn't know how to argue anymore. So he turned away and accepted this condition with an unhappy attitude. "Tsk, cunning old man, he overheard our conversation." Then he handed everything over to the attendant. "Do whatever you want, I don't care if she has a special ability or not." The attendant quickly did as he was told. "Yes, Your Majesty." After seeing the Emperor leave, the prince hesitated to ask His Majesty, "Father, is that true? Is she really the daughter of Duke Uskal?" His Majesty immediately warned in a stern voice, "Silence, I told you to always call me Your Majesty." Suddenly, His Majesty revealed contempt. Special ability, that's in the past. If she has passed the coming-of-age ceremony and still has no signs, it means it will never awaken. Tsk, useless thing, can't even keep a Kim Hoa." His Majesty quickly left without forgetting to criticize the prince. "Get out of my sight for a while." The prince stood on the platform very resentfully and obeyed. "Yes, Your Majesty." After discussing the matter, the Emperor left the Harun palace. Then asked with difficulty, "What? It takes a month for the bride to arrive." The attendant confirmed, "Yes, actually, it may take even longer. She needs time to prepare before moving to Fritain." He was annoyed and wanted to confirm something else. "So what about the planned conquest campaign?" The attendant quickly gave an answer. "That has to be cancelled." Suddenly the Emperor thought and realized something. Then he controlled the horse to block the attendant. "William, don't avoid my question." William asked quickly when he saw his sudden action. "I'm sorry, where are you going?" The Emperor asked a question. "Is it really necessary to wait until the priest comes to Fritain?" "And so, I came here directly," but when he arrived, he received too much love from Leah, which was very uncomfortable. She kept covering her mouth and praising endlessly. "How can someone be so handsome? I'm really going crazy. What did you eat to be so handsome?" "How?" Seeing Leah say too much. The Emperor quickly stopped her. "No, wait." But without letting him speak, she leaned in and babbled endlessly. "Is this the legendary cold and arrogant type? Do I like this type? I just realized, oh no. Is this fate?" The Emperor was extremely uncomfortable and loudly stopped her. "Miss, could you please?" He suddenly blushed and hugged her, saying, "Hey." This startled Leah to realize, oh. Then quickly stepped away and awkwardly apologized. "So, sorry." The Emperor looked at Leah's expression and words that didn't match and couldn't understand. Her whole appearance was as if she was about to run away, yet she still had the guts to flatter me. Then he patiently asked, "Your name is Leah Uskal, right?" Leah affirmed, "Yes, that's my name." The Emperor began to ask, "You packed your bags as soon as you heard I was coming?" Leah stammered an answer against her will. "Oh, yes, of course." Leah really didn't expect. She couldn't believe she could lie so smoothly. He folded his arms and asked confidently, "So that means you're ready to go to Fritain with me right now, right?" Hearing this, Leah suddenly hesitated. Oh, well, she couldn't understand. What, go right now, right this moment? Then Leah was extremely excited in her heart and showed it. "Of course, isn't it too obvious? With a husband like this, I would follow him even to hell." Seeing Leah's actions and words made the emperor's hair stand on end. Oh, I understand. At this time, the duke woke up and criticized, Leah, what shameful things are you doing? Stop talking nonsense, the carriage will arrive in 5 days, just wait. But the emperor immediately interrupted, no, that's not necessary, if the young lady wants to so much, it would be rude to make her wait, he said and reached out his hand. Making her startled, ah. The emperor reached out his hand wanting to take Leah's hand and introduce himself properly. Allow me to introduce myself properly, I am Miklock Fritten, the emperor of Fritten. I heard that you possess a special ability. Seeing that she was so eager, I feel very satisfied, we will depart at dawn. Miklock quickly kissed Leah's hand and thought, she really is a hopeless romantic. She agreed very excitedly, yes, making the duke standing beside her openly uncomfortable. That night when Miklock stood by the window, he looked at his face in the mirror, Then he remembered Leah's overly exaggerated praise, of course, isn't it too obvious, with a husband like this, I would follow him even to hell. Thinking of this, he asked himself, am I really handsome? He was thinking and admiring himself when suddenly William burst open the door and shouted, Your Majesty, ah. Seeing that Miklock had smashed the mirror, he wondered, what are you doing? He quickly denied, nothing, what is it? Then he came over and kept questioning, you're really reckless, do you really think a noble lady of the empire can withstand a horse ride of more than 10 days? Miklock didn't understand and replied very calmly, oh well, if she's too tired, she can faint at any time. William immediately went crazy with his inhuman thoughts. Your Majesty, what are you saying? Miklock didn't care and looked back at the door he had broken. Then suddenly wondered something. Then he asked William, you said where is the second floor of the West Castle? He kept being interrupted by him and was uncomfortable. You're changing the subject again. Then he started babbling again. I just said, the second floor of the West Castle is where Miss Leah Uskell. Seeing Miklock just disappear like that made William stunned. Your Majesty. He kept running in the hallway wanting to find Leah Uskell. Just now she said sweet words about following me to hell, but now she can't stand being by my side. As soon as Millie saw Miklock appear, her face turned pale and she quickly stopped him. Wait, Your Majesty. When he burst open her room door, he was immediately so uncomfortable that his veins popped out. When he saw the scene of a man putting his hand on Leah's shoulder and questioning, what's going on here? Seeing Miklock appear surprised her, Your Majesty. He was mad like a husband catching his wife cheating and asked, what the hell is going on here? Inside the Duke's mansion, Leah sat on the bed and shrank back looking out. At this time, Millie came in and hesitated to call, miss. As soon as she saw it was Millie, Leah was happy. Oh, Millie. Millie was so worried that her eyes were tearing up. What will happen to us? She didn't know either but still came to comfort. Well, we can't do anything. Currently, we have no choice but to go to Fritten. Millie was upset and hugged Leah. Hick, I didn't think we would be discovered so soon. Miss must have been very scared, right? She was misunderstood and was a little confused, Then stammered, then remembered the sins of the past. Leah lowered her eyes and said nothing. After a while, she said, Millie, I have to go to Fritten no matter what, but if you want, you can stay here. Millie was startled when she heard this. Yes, what does Miss mean? Millie cried and didn't want to leave Leah. Does Miss mean that I have become useless? Leah quickly denied that. You fool. Fritten is a cold place covered with snow all year round. You're sensitive to the cold. But Millie didn't care about that. I don't care, I will do better. Please take me with you. Finally Leah had no choice but to accept. You silly goose, this warmth, Millie. Millie was about to express, Miss, if I didn't have you, at that moment. Her emotions were surging when Millie saw a shadow clinging to the window and called Leah, screaming in fear, dead. Seeing Leah lying unconscious on the ground made Millie worried and scolded, You coward, how dare you touch Miss, I won't let you go. She lay on the ground with a wobbly appearance and thought to herself, no, this is my fault. At this time, Millie grabbed the table lamp and turned into a strong man rushing up to protect Leah. I will avenge Miss. She lay helplessly on the ground and reminded softly, It's my fault. At this time, a man's voice rang out to stop her. Wait, it's me. Please open the door quickly. Hearing that voice, both quickly realized in a daze, It turned out to be Robbie. He is the eldest son of Earl Stone, Robbie Stone. When I was wandering in a strange place, he was the first person to reach out and help me. Born into a duke's family but not receiving a proper education, secretly attending classes with Robbie's help, secretly avoiding being discovered by the family. Over time, he became a very close friend. Both quickly sat by the bed listening to Leah recount, so that's why I couldn't get to our meeting place. Robbie was silent after hearing this, understanding her. She felt guilty seeing his expression. Yeah, you must have waited a long time. I'm sorry, Robbie, Leah thought to herself. I will never tell anyone that I loved my husband at first sight, so I decided to leave. Suddenly Robbie grabbed her hand wanting her to run away again. It's okay, Leah, it's not too late now, let's run away together. Leah was a little confused when she heard this. Run away together. She quickly reminded him, I just asked you to lend me a carriage from my store. He suddenly interrupted her, I know, but the moment I read your letter, I decided to run away with you. How can I let you go alone? Robbie said while putting on an extremely sad face. Then he added, it's already too much that they tried to marry you off to that old emperor, but now, the Queen of Britain. Leah, you will be frozen to death as soon as you get there. Seeing Robbie's anxious face like a silly puppy made Leah couldn't help but laugh. You fool, there are still people living there. Then she hugged him and comforted him, Robbie, I still have to go, don't worry, I will write you a letter. Robbie was a little sad and didn't want to leave, Leah. Then he kept begging, Leah, please, don't go. But when the two were hugging and confiding their feelings, Miklock's deep voice questioned, what is this? At this time, Leah had time to look up and was stunned, Your Majesty. His eyes were extremely resentful and questioning, what's going on? As soon as Leah saw Miklock come, she was flustered and wanted to explain, Your Majesty, let me explain everything, this is. But he didn't care and came over to squeeze Robbie's neck, making him hurt, cough. Leah worriedly stopped him, Your Majesty, what are you doing? At this time, her face quickly turned pale. When she saw Miklock's cruel eyes looking down, those red eyes, what is called the bloodthirsty demon of war. This really excited Leah, but when she heard Robbie's voice about to run out of help, she was afraid, Robbie. Leah quickly stopped him, Your Majesty, this is Mr. Robbie Stone, the eldest son of Earl Stone of the Haroon Kingdom. Then she explained to Miklock, he is my childhood friend, because I left too hastily, he came to say goodbye, he smirked and didn't believe, at this hour. She immediately explained further, the departure was just cancelled, so I invited him over, so please forgive him. Miklock still didn't believe it, and a young girl asked him to climb through the window like a thief. She loudly gave a very reasonable explanation, it's dawn now. If he goes through the main door and wakes everyone up, it will be very troublesome. These words really made Miklock uncomfortable and grind his teeth, tsk. Then he waved his hand and knocked Robbie hard to the ground, making Leah worried, Robbie. She worriedly told him repeatedly, Robbie, thank you for coming all this way, but I think you should leave now. Robbie turned pale and was still very worried about Leah, but, cough. She quickly pushed him away, hurry up, Robbie still refused, no, But in the end, he clenched his teeth and looked at Miklock with resentful eyes. Making him so angry that he wanted to rush over and wring Robbie's neck again, but Leah quickly cut in with flowery flattery, I will live happily with my handsome husband, take care, Robbie. In the end, Robbie had to accept with a gloomy mood, okay, Leah, if that's what you want. Hearing these words made Miklock excitedly turn away. Before leaving, he didn't forget to say, write me a letter, Leah, goodbye. She also sweated and said goodbye, yeah, take care, Robbie. Miklock in the back looked at Robbie with murderous intent. When he saw that the obstacle had left, he quickly approached, so. Then asked with an unbelieving expression, you're telling me that you were just saying goodbye to your childhood friend? Leah under this oppression could only smile and admit. Of course, at this hour, that's the only reason for me to meet a friend. But when Miklock remembered Robbie's lingering face at that time, he didn't believe it, it seems a bit too much pickleball. He didn't have any standing with her, yet he showed a jealous expression, so, anyone is okay as long as they're handsome. Leah sweated and was confused, yes. Miklock finished speaking and turned away, nothing. In the end, Miklock spoke up and requested, anyway, even if it's your childhood friend, you should keep your distance from other men, you are now, the Queen of Britain in everyone's eyes. Leah was confused, what do you mean by keeping my distance? He suddenly blushed and cleared his throat, ahem. Then he gave the level of contact, physical touch like just now, like that hug just now. She looked up, revealing a confused face, a hug. Miklock nodded in affirmation. Leah was now flustered and wondered, so, if I can't do that with other men, does it mean I can hug you? She asked with a very righteous face. Miklock turned away and said a long string of words, as long as it's not with other men, the rest doesn't matter. I was going to go back and kill him again, but maybe I wanted to avoid trouble. Leah was confused, kill him. Seeing her look dazed like this, Miklock asked a question, are you not aware of the reason why you're marrying me? Then he began to recount, 2 months ago, the Prince of Haroon was arrested for illegally trying to cut down the national treasure of Britain, the golden pine tree. Leah was startled when she knew the reason why she was being married off, Then Miklock continued, we waited for them to compensate for 2 months, but didn't receive a response, so, I came to settle things directly, but only for the Emperor to offer a marriage proposal with you as a response. Leah now understood everything. Oh, should I think I'm lucky, at least I escaped that weird old man. Then she could only tilt her head and utter, oh, I understand. Miklock on the side also replied, that's right. At this time, he looked over, noticing the place where Leah lived. But isn't she the second child of the Dukaskel family, the daughter of a duke, but she lives in a room that's not even as good as a servant? If she has to live in a place like this. Miklock suddenly said incomprehensibly, the early morning air is quite nice, no need to wait until the sun rises, making Leah not understand anything. Yes. Then he began to continue, if you have nothing else to do now. Then he made a proposal, why don't you run away with me? Receiving a request from someone with an extremely handsome face made Leah surprised. Run away, together? Miklock blushed and admitted, yeah, because we've packed our bags, we can go right now. Before he could even receive agreement from Leah, William burst open the door to stop him. You can't. He kept rambling and scolding, Your Majesty, so this is where you came, the sun will rise soon, please wait until morning and go with the knights, why are you in such a hurry to leave now? Everyone is tired and we still have to. He was very uncomfortable listening to these things. So he grabbed Leah's hand and pulled her away, making her stammer, Your Majesty. Then both jumped from the window, making Leah scream in fear. Millie also worried for her life. Miss Miklock had now landed safely with a suggestion, come with us if you can, and explain properly to Duke Uskell. Leah stopped him, wait. But it seemed like he had run out of patience, can't wait any longer, I'm leaving. Millie quickly ran over with a pale face, Miss. Millie quickly looked down to confirm the situation. She saw Miklock hugging Leah on horseback and running away. Millie suddenly called William, hey, he turned around when called, yes. Millie requested, you need to help me. At this time, William was arguing with Millie, hey, at this time, they're only getting further and further away, open up and hurry up, but Millie kept stopping him. How many times do I have to say it? If you take me with you, I will immediately prepare for your horse. He was annoyed and helpless, say something more reasonable. Then William quickly said, I am the Emperor's closest bodyguard, instead of wasting time arguing, I should. But Millie didn't care, that's why, take me with you, I don't care if you treat me like luggage. Millie's eyes seemed to have moved him. Then he closed his eyes tightly and made a choice. In the end, he had to accept and request, I plan to go as fast as possible, a maid like you won't be able to keep up, I will call you a carriage, so go by. But Millie at this time took a rope out of her pocket. Then with bright eyes, she wanted to confirm, as long as I don't fall, right, seeing this made William feel like he was drained of all his energy, In the end, he had to agree and request, get a horse. Millie happily accepted, yes, Your Majesty. Then the two got on the horse together. Before leaving, William didn't forget to inform the Duke and Duchess about the situation. The Emperor has left with the young lady. I will catch up and support soon, so don't worry too much. The Duchess accepted when she heard this. Oh, I understand. Seeing those two nonchalantly not worried about Leah made him not understand. What kind of reaction is that, then? William started riding the horse. Hey yeah, the impact with rapid speed made Millie a little shaky because she wasn't ready. Wait. Then Millie worriedly hugged him tightly and screamed, This active hug made William's face red because he was hugged by a girl. But when Millie complained, wait a moment, I haven't even tied the rope properly yet, it quickly frustrated him. Really, I can't even go at full speed. On Leah's side, she was constantly complaining and blaming, oh my god. She felt uncomfortable in her body after sitting on the horse for a long distance. I feel like I'm going to throw up. My back hurts too. How many hours have we been going? Oh my god, I feel hungry. The two have now been going for 20 hours non-stop. Seeing Leah's frustrated face made Miklock sad. Don't tell me you're still worried about that little mouse. She quickly acted confused. Which mouse? After a while, Leah quickly understood. Oh, he's talking about Robbie. I'm just too tired. She immediately denied. No, it's just that my body is aching all over. At this time, Leah remembered Millie. Millie, she's my only maid. We were supposed to come to Fritton together. When mentioning Millie, Leah couldn't help but smile happily. She's a warm child, even when she can't stand the cold, she still said that she would come with me. Since we were young, she has helped me without a word of complaint, but now, I left her without saying anything, and I'm very worried about her. Miklock, after hearing these words, was a little curious. Aren't you worried about yourself? Leah asked confused. Me, worried? In the end, he had to let Millie follow Leah to Fritton. Forget it, I will send a carriage, you can bring your maid with you. She jumped up excitedly when she heard this. Really, the horse suddenly swayed at this time. So Miklock immediately hugged Leah to protect her. Be careful. When she realized that the contact between the two was too close, Leah spoke up, Your Majesty. Finally, a hungry stomach sound rang out, making Miklock embarrassed to realize. And decided, let's rest for a while. Both quickly lit a campfire at an empty lot. When she tried a bite of what Miklock cooked, Leah was really surprised. Oh. She was imagining the scene where she would praise the food that Miklock cooked. It's really delicious. Are you also very good at housework, Your Majesty? then he would shyly accept the compliment. Haha, you're making me embarrassed. But in reality, the food was so bad that Leah had to vomit it all out, but still had to praise, "This thing is really, very delicious." Miklock on the side also understood how good his cooking skills were, so he advised, "You don't have to force yourself to eat it." In the end, both ate in embarrassment. Leah suddenly worriedly cared about Miklock. Your Majesty, are you okay?" He didn't understand. "What do you mean?" Leah began to explain her previous question. "I know that the Emperor proposed this, but I know you don't want this marriage either." Miklock was silent when he heard this. So she continued, Of course, even if you don't want to, there's nothing more I can do." But he didn't care about that and asked Leah's feelings. "What about you? Are you okay with marrying me?" When she heard this, Leah couldn't hide her shy satisfaction. Isn't it obvious?" Her expression and words at this time made Miklock's heart flutter. Leah was constantly exclaiming in her heart, "Of course I'm very happy about it. I mean, look at him, he's too handsome." So I forgot how to speak for a few seconds. Suddenly he jumped up. I then hurried away. "I'm going to take a bath." Seeing Miklock leave too quickly startled Leah. So urgent?" But even after 1 hour, he still hadn't returned, making Leah sit alone, lonely and bored. When will he come back? Looking at the food in the pot made her want to vomit. "I just want to get through this quickly. I can't stand it anymore. If I have to stay here any longer, I'll suffocate. I should leave." While walking, Leah heard the rustling sound of the river. There's the sound of water. There must be a river nearby. I will take a quick bath. But at this time she discovered, under this river, Miklock was bathing naked, causing Leah to observe from afar, inevitably arousing her extreme infatuation with men. But she quickly reassured herself, "No, Leah, calm down, peeping is a crime." But when Leah saw something liquid stuck in Miklock's hand, she was surprised. Then she wondered and came closer wanting to observe, "What is in his palm?" Miklock heard footsteps and immediately looked back vigilantly. Then launched a hidden weapon past Leah's face. He asked gloomily, "Who's there?" She worried, "Dead. I'm done for." At this time, Leah stepped out crying and apologized, "Sorry." As soon as Miklock saw her, he quickly froze. She resentfully explained, "No, I didn't intend to follow you. I just brought the soup because it's too terrible. Oh no, because it's cold, so I was going to throw it away. I heard the sound of water, so I followed, and then ended up here." Seeing Leah like this, he didn't care anymore. "Forget it." Then he requested, "Can you step aside?" Leah only said oh when she heard this. When they returned to the campsite, both sat down without daring to look at each other. Leah worriedly stammered, Your Majesty." Then wanted to ask her question. "There's one thing I want to ask you." "How did you get that scar on your hand?" suddenly asked. Miklock was startled. He looked at the scar on his hand at this time. Then quickly explained, "When I was born, and inherited the throne." Remembering the scene of his mother passing away and he could only resignedly call, "Mom, no, Mom." Miklock was silent for a moment. Then he gave an explanation, "It's the royal family's curse." Leah was dazed. A curse?" He affirmed and then said, "Yes, a curse. Its official name is the breath of the dragon. In the Fritten royal family, every time an heir is born, they will carry a mysterious scar on the palm or face. No one knows the reason, so we can only call it a curse, because there's no other explanation." After hearing this, Leah wondered, "Is there a way to remove it?" Miklock was silent for a moment. Then admitted, "There is." She was a little happy when she heard this. "That's great. What's that method?" Miklock quickly said, "Have an heir. It doesn't guarantee it will disappear completely. But if you marry and have an heir, the chances of the scar disappearing are higher. That's what happened to my father." Leah finally understood. "Oh. So that's the reason. That's the reason why Your Majesty accepted me as part of the agreement." Seeing her sad face made Miklock dazed and wanted to say, "No. Not exactly," but during the important moment, the sound of a horse galloping came. William and Millie quickly saw the two. He kept scolding Miklock, "William, Your Majesty's loyal servant is here." I immediately followed you. Millie also squeezed in from behind. And Millie, the young lady's loyal maid, too. As soon as he saw Millie appear, Leah happily ran over Millie, and Miklock couldn't explain this, so he was very helpless. He turned pale and was extremely uncomfortable. "I wish you had let me finish. It's all because the nobles kept urging me about marriage." William at this time ran over and called, "Your Majesty." Miklock realized confused, "Wait, why do I feel like I'm the one at a loss here? But theoretically, she's also part of the agreement." He came to hug Miklock and cried, "Your Majesty, if you just leave like that, what will William do? Bringing the young lady's maid along takes a lot of effort. She can't even ride a horse properly. She keeps swaying all the way." Leah on this side jumped up when she saw Millie. "Millie, how did you get here?" Millie quickly explained, "I kept pestering Mr. William until he agreed to let me follow. He looked very scary when he kept refusing." She couldn't help but laugh when she heard this. Making Miklok on this side frustrated, William saw that he wasn't listening to his rambling and called, "Your Majesty, are you listening?" But when he looked over with resentful eyes, it scared him and he stepped back. At this time, the three were still talking, while Miklok was sleeping in a tree. Lay at this time wondered, "So the other knights will camp further away, why don't everyone camp together?" William quickly explained, "With the young lady here, how can we camp nearby? Even if we're far away, we will still guard strictly, so please don't worry and rest comfortably," she replied when she heard this. "I understand." He was really a little surprised at this time. She really is a different noble lady, daring to suggest sleeping with the knights, Leah at this time explained. "Anyway, this is my first time in Fritain, so I should expect something good about it, right?" Millie at this time also added, "That's right. Oh, so that means they have that too." William remembered that from the beginning, she clearly wasn't used to going out with the guards. At that time Leah pointed to the knights and wondered, where are they going? Are they going straight to the castle? He also said very patiently, yes, no, they will be stationed elsewhere to ensure security. He looked back at this time. Now that he thinks about it, her outfit doesn't seem like a noble lady's outfit, he was thinking when Leah called, "You, William." She called again, "You William." William quickly replied, "Oh yes." Then he asked her question, "That golden pine tree, what does it look like anyway? I know it's considered the national treasure of Fritain, but I can't find any books that describe its shape." William was a little embarrassed when he heard this. "Oh, you mean the golden pine tree?" The golden pine tree, simply put, is a type of pine tree with a bright yellow color that only grows in the kingdom of Fritain. Its value is beyond imagination. The spectacular scenery of the Golden Pine Hills, dyed in a bright yellow color, is truly indescribable. However, if you don't belong to a noble family of Fritain, you won't be able to get close to them. The more Leah heard, the more interested she became. "Oh my." William continued to say, "Actually, the true value of the golden pine tree is related to dragons." Both heard this and couldn't help but say in unison, "Dragons." Miklok above saw that he was revealing too much, so he reminded William. Seeing that he wouldn't let him reveal it made him wonder, why, anyway, the young lady is about to become a part of Fritain. In the end Miklok had to helplessly let William decide. Just do what you want." At this time, he suddenly asked a question, "Do you know any weapon that can pierce a dragon?" Leah quickly remembered, could it be? Before she could finish speaking, he quickly affirmed, "That's right, a weapon made from the golden pine tree. Is the only thing that can pierce a dragon. Because many people have tried to seize it, the hunts and battles have never stopped. That's why His Majesty has the nickname the bloodthirsty demon of war." Leah finally understood everything. Oh, Miklok up here could only silently listen. Suddenly she exclaimed, "But even so, it's unbelievable, a weapon that can pierce a dragon? I really want to see the Golden Pine Hills once. After all, I'm Leah Fritain now," Leah said while smiling brightly, making Miklok mesmerized. Then William changed the topic. "Speaking of battles, I should tell you about this. When we arrive in the kingdom, the wedding will be held as soon as possible." Leah was surprised when she heard this. He on the tree quickly turned away. At this time, William shyly said, "His Majesty is originally an impatient person, but we also need to confirm some things with the Mayan tribe." Oh, she wondered, the Mayan tribe? He quickly gave Leah knowledge. The Mayan tribe is a group of people who often attack villages near the border every summer. The situation is escalating, so in the end His Majesty personally confronted them. As a result, the Mayan tribe agreed to end the looting and instead began to craft golden pine trees in exchange for a corresponding fee. He recognized their efforts and granted them control over the golden pine tree production areas. However, there are suspicions that the illegal metal mining activities of the Harun Empire are related to the Mayan tribe. There have also been reports of alarming incidents, so we need to investigate. She was worried after hearing this. Oh no. Then Leah smiled and clenched her fist. Then she quickly made a decision. There's no other way. I don't mind holding the wedding sooner. Millie on the side was surprised when she heard the shocking information. What? William was excited. Are you sure? Thank you for understanding us. Millie was heartbroken and wanted to stop her. Miss, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime wedding. There are so many things to prepare. How can it be so hasty? Leah could only give a forced smile. Ahaha, well at least I don't have to marry an old emperor. I'll marry a handsome guy, just like my mother wanted. Everything will be fine. That's right, it will definitely be fine. Millie cried and begged, Miss, don't push me so fast. Miklok on the tree heard everything. Then he remembered when Leah was attacked with a hidden weapon. He was a little curious. Doesn't she have a scar? Leah decided at this time, alright, good luck. Let's start a new life in Fritain now. Millie was still trying to beg, Mr. William, I still have at least 1 month to prepare. He could only stammer before this problem. Oh, well. But as soon as she arrived in Fritain, Leah was startled when everyone was busy preparing for the wedding. Wait, the maids kept asking, where's the rose water? Bring it out here quickly, the jewelry must have bright colors. She really couldn't have imagined, it seems like everything is happening too fast. At this time everyone had arrived in Fritain. We're here, welcome to Fritain Castle. Leah poked her head out and couldn't help but exclaim, oh my. She looked at William and kept exclaiming, it's amazing. It seems like winter has started in Fritain. He quickly said, impossible, now is actually the warmest time of the year. Leah quickly understood when she heard this. Oh, I understand. Miklock in the back couldn't say anything when he heard this conversation. Then he rode his horse forward and entrusted it to William. So I'll leave it to you, William, he replied when he heard this. Oh, yes, your majesty. Leah then looked at Miklock's back. A moment later, when she arrived, William helped her down and didn't forget to thank him. William helped Leah and smiled to say, the ceremony will take place in 2 hours, the maids will help you prepare, so please follow me. She was confused. Are you talking about the welcome ceremony? He teased with a smile at this time. Haha, no, of course I mean your wedding. Her own wedding happened too quickly, making her dazed. What? Then Leah couldn't help but shout, we just arrived after a week of travel, I'm not ready to get married now, William quickly said, thanks to the young lady's understanding and generosity. Luckily the wedding can still take place on time. She was startled at this time. What? Wait a minute, at that time William said, now that the conquest has been mentioned, once we arrive in the kingdom, we plan to hold the wedding as soon as possible. She was definitely ready at that time, there's no other way, I don't mind holding the wedding sooner. Millie on the side was startled. What? He was very grateful when he heard this. Are you sure? Thank you for understanding us, and currently I didn't think it would be so fast. Leah worriedly asked, so, what about the wedding dress? There's no time left, William at this time said, the dress that the former queen wore will be altered for you. He said and quickly called, Sophie, Adele. Immediately 2 maids appeared and greeted, nice to meet you, your highness. We will be in charge of preparing for you. I am Sophie, I am Adele. We look forward to serving you. Leah is still very panicked and hasn't had time to adapt. Oh, no, And so I was dragged away like that. The maids are currently very busy preparing for Leah. Where's the makeup powder? Amethyst is prettier, I'm serious. The maid at this time requested, please look in the mirror. Leah also looked up in frustration. Then she was surprised by her own beauty. Sophie at this time kept praising, your hair is very beautiful, and the color is also very special. Leah looked at herself and was really moved, it really does look beautiful. Adele at this time came in and said, the alteration of the former queen's wedding dress has also been completed. Seeing that everything was happening so urgently, Leah had to sigh and accept, well. If I have to do it anyway, maybe doing it quickly will be better, then switch the scene to the wedding hall. Miklock at this time looked down. Then he was really surprised. When Leah walked in. Leah looked extremely beautiful and radiant. When she looked up. Quickly saw Miklock. Seeing him so incredibly handsome made Leah cry, oh my god, is that handsome man over there my husband? Miklock was thinking about something at this moment. Then proactively reached his hand out towards Leah, causing her to startle in surprise. Afterwards, Leah also placed her hand on his. Seeing the 2 hands clasped together, the witnesses immediately went wild. Wow, WOA. At this moment, both of them held hands and walked side by side into the wedding hall. Leah quickly noticed Millie crying below. Seeing Millie like this made Leah unable to stop herself from laughing. Miklock also noticed her action. Then he blushed and turned away. The priest cleared his throat and said, well then, next. He requested, now the bride and groom will exchange a kiss. Suddenly being asked to kiss like this made Leah panic. She startled and wanted to stop it. Wait, just a moment, a kiss? While she was feeling shy, Miklock spoke, Leah Fritain. Do I have the honor of kissing you? At this moment he was the epitome of a classy gentleman. Leah quickly hesitated at this request, when such a handsome person says that. How can I refuse? Then she quickly took the initiative to step forward. Immediately, cheers erupted from below. Oh my, a. Seeing the 2 people kissing so passionately, the priest announced, now, the 2 of you are officially husband and wife. And back in the present, Leah is sitting in the honeymoon suite. She is really uncomfortable with the wedding dress she's wearing. This wedding dress, it's too suffocating. However, Leah still has to accept it. However, according to tradition, the husband will undress the bride on their wedding night. Suddenly, a certain feeling arose in her heart, wedding night. Just remembering the kiss on the wedding hall. Leah quickly brushed it off, but still started to have lewd thoughts. Really of course, because it's the wedding night, we will, and then, but while she was daydreaming, Millie burst open the door and shouted. Milady, oh no, your highness. Millie ran over to remind her. this isn't the time to be thinking about this. Seeing Millie appear at this moment made Leah confused. Millie, what do you mean? Millie quickly said, oh, well, Miklock. He's about to leave for war now. Leah startled and jumped up when she heard this news. Wait, what? Not even having a wedding night yet? Millie also understood this and cried her eyes out. Yes. He's already prepared to depart. It is said that this expedition will last at least 4 months. If this news gets to Haroon. That's right, in Haroon, a bride who does not complete the wedding ceremony on her wedding night will be severely despised. The nobles will constantly mock, that lady has been abandoned by her husband. Oh my god, doesn't she have a problem? Leah made up her mind, I can't let that happen. Then she ran off. Millie, I'll take care of this myself. Millie ran after her. Where are you going? Seeing her run out of the honeymoon suite, the maid also blankly called out, Your Highness. Leah was determined to run off. If this rumor spread to Marquis Asgul, it would be a great humiliation. You think I'll stand by and watch that happen? Never. After running for a while, she finally saw Miklock, found him. At this moment he was making plans. Well then, we will carry out this plan. But while preparing, William shouted in a panic, Your Highness. Miklock also looked back in confusion. Leah quickly opened her mouth to call out, Your Majesty. After saying that, Leah quickly jumped into Miklock's arms, making the other knights embarrassed and clear their throats. Ahem. Looking at his surprised face, Leah made a declaration, You and I. We will complete the wedding night before you leave. This words really made him embarrassed. Then looking over, the knights immediately looked away. Oops. Miklock suddenly sighed. Then put Leah down on the ground. Then honestly asked, You really want to consummate our marriage? As soon as she heard this, Leah couldn't help but shout, Who would want to? Oh my god, realizing she was standing in front of many people. She shyly said quieter, Who would really want to experience a wedding night? I still have a conscience. Miklock was astonished by this statement. He blurted out in surprise, What? Then Leah whispered again, I'm not the kind of person to make such an unreasonable request to a husband about to go to war. Miklock suddenly blushed embarrassedly. Not that I have any objections, but what exactly do you want from me? Currently, the clock has struck 7 o'clock. Leah was sitting on a chair full of embarrassment at this moment. Then Miklock's voice rang out from outside, I'll eat first, so prepare a meal in the living room. The maid quickly obeyed. Yes, I'll prepare it immediately. He quickly ordered, Tell William that the departure will be postponed by 3 hours. The knight very quickly obeyed. Yes, understood. Finally, Miklock entered the honeymoon suite. Leah shyly explained, The maids are preparing the room. Anyway, thank you. 1 hour is enough, but 3 hours. Miklock was really confused. Then why did you suggest a wedding night that you don't even want? She was startled by the question. Well. Finally, she explained, in the Haroon Empire, a bride who doesn't complete the wedding night ceremony will be treated very badly. If this gets to the Marquis' ears, Miklock remembered, now that you mention it, Marquis Asgul. But aren't you the second daughter of that family, the daughter of a marquis, yet you live in a room that's not even as good as a maid's room? Then he spoke his doubts. I'm really curious, why someone like you, a noble lady of the Marquis' house, is in such a dark room. What? Are you being abused? If so, tell me. Now, you are Leah Fritton. Leah hesitated at this moment. Well. Then stood up and said continuously, Abuse, that's not happening. Anyway, thank you for not having a wedding night, so please take this opportunity to rest well for these 3 hours. Miklock didn't know what else to say. Then he reminded, I already said, I don't really care. This words made her confused. What? Miklock didn't want to repeat himself. Forget it. At this moment, Leah came up with something again and asked him, Oh, wait a moment, can you give me that outer jacket? Then didn't forget to ask for more. By the way, also the vest, shoes and socks too. Okay. After a while, the room quickly became messy, making Miklock panic. Now. He questioned Leah, What are you doing? Being asked like that, she stammered to explain, Well, when the maids come to clean the room, there must be traces for them to believe it. Miklock didn't know what else to say and hugged himself sitting in a corner. At this moment, Leah started another trick. Oh. Then couldn't help but praise. Good idea. Miklock was really confused. What are you talking about? He looked at the wine on the table. Wine. Why do you want to do that? Leah didn't hesitate to explain further. If I pour this on the bed too, then the maids will definitely completely believe it. He was really speechless at this moment. Suddenly, he approached Leah from behind. Then spoke, I understand what you're trying to do. But in Fritton, there is no such shameful custom, so there is no need to do that. Finally, she shyly realized this. Oh. Leah hurriedly apologized. I'm sorry. Miklock didn't blame her but just sighed once and suggested, Do you want to drink a little? Finally, after a while passed, Leah drank a glass of wine to the bottom in satisfaction. She drank while praising nonstop. This is really delicious. It would be a waste to pour it all out. This word surprised Miklock. So you were originally going to pour it all out. After drinking for a while, she also put the glass down, deciding not to drink anymore. But maybe I won't drink anymore, he wondered. Are you drunk? Leah happily replied brightly, partly, but mainly because the corset is too tight so I can't eat and drink comfortably. Hearing that, he remembered, oh. Then spoke his doubts. Then why don't you take it off? Didn't you say that we need to leave traces of the wedding night? Suddenly receiving such a sudden proposal made Leah panic. What? But Miklock didn't have any bad intentions. It's just that she had messed up the bed. But if the bride is still wearing the wedding dress, who would believe it? Leah blankly said oh. Then glanced to the side. Finally, she accepted after tucking her hair. Then can you help me? Miklock was drinking wine behind her, a little confused. Leah explained at this moment, I can't take off this dress myself. Her words quickly defeated Miklock's steady mind, causing wine to spill all over his face. Miklock kept coughing nonstop, making Leah really worried. Your Majesty, are you okay? He didn't answer but blushed embarrassedly. Then calmly replied, I'm okay, then approached to take off Leah's dress. But after a long period of time still couldn't take off the dress, making her sweat profusely. Your Majesty, Miklock was also trying his best to take off the dress. Wait a moment, I'm almost done. She didn't forget to remind him, you've been saying that for 10 minutes. Miklock was very annoyed at the moment. Damn it, under the ribbon there is another row of buttons. I swear from now on, no royal wedding in Britain will reuse this dress again. Thinking about this, he tore the dress straight away, causing the space to suddenly become silent. Seeing this scene made Miklock startled and jump. Leah didn't understand what happened and turned back to ask, Your Majesty, what was that sound just now? He panicked and hurriedly stopped Leah from looking back. Wait, I haven't finished yet. In a panic she was pushed down, lying under him without knowing when. Leah spoke, Your Majesty. Then she sat up smiling a little awkwardly. Your Majesty, let me take care of the rest, so please step aside. For some reason he called out, Mick, making Leah confused. What? Miklock repeated, Call me Mick, don't call me Your Majesty anymore. Leah quickly obeyed and called out with a question, Mick. Also in that atmosphere, Miklock moved closer wanting to kiss Leah. But she showed a pale and ugly expression. Leah turned her face away and said, Your Majesty, I'm really not feeling well. Finally, Miklock stood up sighing and forgave her. He requested, Go out and get some fresh air. Leah was confused when she heard the request. At this time the two of them went to see the scenery together. As soon as she arrived, Leah couldn't help but exclaim, WOA. She ran around the forest excitedly and asked, Your Majesty, look at this hill, so this is the Golden Pine Hill. Suddenly Miklock cleared his throat, ahem, making Leah flustered. Then he quickly approached again, pressing his face close to hers, making her confused. Mick. Hearing Leah call his name correctly made Miklock happy. That's right. Then he cared about Leah's health. Do you feel better? She replied, Oh, yes, thanks to you. At this moment, Leah said, Although the road up here by horse is a bit bumpy, Miklock felt a little self-blame. Oh. After the conversation, the two of them were immersed in the dreamy atmosphere of the forest, making Leah really like this forest. Now I really feel it. That I have become Leah Fritten, she said with a bright smile, making Miklock's heart flutter. Oh well. Finally, he wanted to resolve the misunderstanding when William interrupted. It's part of the agreement, but I didn't bring you here just to bear an heir. Leah was a little surprised when she heard Miklock say this. What? He suddenly affirmed, I respect you. That means I'm not as heartless as the rumors say. Miklock revealed an embarrassed expression, making Leah couldn't help but waver at this face. Suddenly, she couldn't help but laugh. Pfft. Leah also wanted to resolve the misunderstanding, so she told Miklock, Ahaha, I never thought you were that kind of person, Mick. But anyway, you still need an heir, right? And you have to break the dragon's breath curse. Suddenly his eyes became gentle, then squeezed her hand tightly and said, Even if I don't break it, it doesn't matter. Leah hesitated, wanting to say, but Miklock didn't let her finish and requested, First, let's sit down, okay? After the two of them sat down, he started to confide, I need to tell you something about this curse. The two of them sat under the tree leaning on each other. Then Miklock honestly told about his family. My mother sacrificed herself to protect my father. This made her surprised and startled. My mother's father, in other words, my grandfather, the former king, Samuel, wanted to take over Britain. So, he ordered my mother to poison my father. But my mother couldn't do that, and instead, she drank the poison herself. Leah couldn't understand, why? Miklock quickly gave the answer, because she loved my father. Finally, mother. Seeing his mother like that made Miklock panic and call out, Mother. He ran over and hugged her, continuously asking, Mother, why, that's the medicine that grandfather gave father, right, before she passed away, his mother quickly instructed. Mick, don't ever tell your father that Sommel tried to poison him. If he knows, then he will execute Sommel for treason, cough cough cough. Miklok couldn't understand at that time, why grandfather, no, why can't father understand mother's heart? She looked up with tired eyes and said, Mick, love. After saying that, she quickly passed away, making him heartbroken at that time. Mother. Miklok begged in vain, please open your eyes, okay mother. Mother promised to tell me a story before I go to sleep. Mother, wake up, mother. And finally I resented my father. The curse has been broken, and I'm still alive, all thanks to my mother, yet, the only thing he always mentions is that I have to find a woman to bear an heir. He doesn't even understand the heart of the woman who died for him. So, I killed Sommel first. Then, I threw his head right in front of my father's feet. At that time, Miklok gritted his teeth wanting to let his father know the truth. This is the one who tried to kill you, you're alive thanks to mother, so be grateful and live properly. At that time, I was blinded by anger. So I didn't see my father's expression. Not long after that, my father's condition worsened, and I inherited the throne. I don't want to become like my father, so, if I don't want to break this curse, then so be it. Leah couldn't help but hug Miklok after hearing the story, making him confused and ask, what's wrong, what are you doing? Leah suddenly interrupted him, hey, Mick. She couldn't help but praise, your mother gave birth to someone as handsome as you, she must be very beautiful. Let's visit her one day, I haven't had a chance to express my respect yet. These words really moved Miklok, making Miklok couldn't help but smile to himself praising, she really is obsessed with beauty. At least she's consistent. Suddenly hearing him say something out of the blue like this made Leah confused. What do you mean? Then Leah asked Miklok about the horse that brought her to the Golden Pine. Mick, what's this horse's name? He was annoyed and couldn't understand. It's just a horse, why name it? Hearing that, Leah quickly analyzed 1001 sentences in her head. A black horse, strong, but looks lonely, black, shadow, a lonely shadow, the lonely shadow, sounds good, so shorten it too. After thinking for a while she decided on the name for the horse. Okay, from now on, your name will be, Miklok couldn't help but cough continuously, cough cough. The horse was also helpless when he heard the name she gave him, shit. Then finally Leah said the name of the horse, its name will be Bloodstorm. Back to Millie's side, she was sitting waiting for Leah to come back when suddenly she was called, hey. William came over and asked, has your majesty gone out? Millie helplessly said, he probably won't be able to leave today, because it's the wedding night, he finally realized. Then William remembered something. Then he told her, if the queen comes to see him off later, then prepare a towel for her. Millie stood up confused, why a towel? He quickly said, in Britain, there is a tradition that women will tie a towel to the knight's sword before they depart. Some people use towels from their mother or sister, but nothing can reinforce the determination to survive and return more than a towel from a lover or wife. Millie heard that and looked at her scarf, Then approached to ask, so did you receive a towel? William was embarrassed by the sudden teasing, what? He was silent for a while then looked away refusing, I'm a perfect knight, so I don't need it. Hearing this, she quickly exposed him, so that means your majesty is not a perfect knight. Before Millie could finish speaking, William interrupted in fear, what? No, I didn't mean that. He angrily wanted to rush in, I must go today, get out of the way. Millie hurriedly stopped him, but you haven't. But it was too late when William kept knocking on the door calling out loudly, your majesty, it's William, can I come in? Millie wanted to stop his over-the-top actions. But suddenly the two quickly stopped with confusion. William wanted to call again, but a voice rang out from inside, come in, making him stop. William quickly opened the door and went in, excuse me. The room inside was extremely messy. Miklok was sitting by the bed, stroking Leah's hair while she was sleeping. Then he quickly looked over with a warning look. William cleared his throat to remind him, it's almost time to depart. Millie's eyes lit up immediately at this sight. Then Miklok replied, I know. I'll leave right now. When he left, she was startled and realized, oh. Millie touched her scarf and thought, he's gone. She quickly went over to wake Leah, your highness, she was still fast asleep, not hearing anything, Millie couldn't help but grab Leah and shake her strongly, your highness, this is not the time to be lying here, his majesty is about to leave. She had just woken up and was still blank. When did I fall asleep? At this moment, she quickly reminded her, in Britain, there is a tradition of giving a scarf to the knight before they depart, so you must go and see his majesty off. Leah was still rubbing her eyes, not fully awake, a scarf. Her eyes were still dazed and not awake. Then she requested, prepare a purple one for me. Millie was a little surprised when she heard that, a purple scarf. Leah happily couldn't help but smile brightly, that's right, I will tie it on him myself. At this moment, the sun had begun to rise. Miklock went over and called out, "Ah, William." William turned back when he was called, "Yes, your majesty." He then said, "Before the wedding, I ordered the manna stones to be taken from the royal warehouse number 3. He was stunned when he heard that. What? Earlier, Leah had just arrived and exclaimed, "It's amazing. It seems like winter has started in Britain," but William said at that time, "That's impossible, in fact. This is the warmest time of the year." Hearing this made her feel down. "Ah, I understand," and Miklock had noticed at that time. So he went ahead and handed it over to William. "Well then, I'll leave it to you, William." "Ah, yes, your majesty." When he remembered everything, he smiled and wondered, "Ah, that's right, back then, but why the manna stones?" Miklock lowered his head and hummed at this moment. Then he coldly ordered, "Make sure that the East Palace, where the honeymoon suite is, and the South Palace, where the Queen lives, are filled with manna stones." These words made William stunned and exclaimed, "Are you crazy?" Although he had exceeded the number that could be given, he still felt that it was not enough. Is there not enough manna stone in warehouse number 3? If so, then maybe warehouse number 4. No, maybe it's better if you stay and manage the palace. The conquest can be handed over to the other knights. William loudly objected, "Your Majesty, the amount of manna stone from warehouse number 3 is enough to heat the entire Fritton castle. Why are you using so much royal property just for this?" At this moment, Miklock immediately ordered, "That's right, I really think you should stay here." Hearing these words made his mood quickly drop. "I will be back soon." When he was preparing to depart, Leah's voice rang out, "Your Majesty." She quickly ran over, to the point of sweating profusely, making Miklock really worried. "Why did you come out here instead of resting?" Leah quickly breathed out, "Huff, huff." Well, he was about to say, "You don't have to see me off," but when Leah handed over the scarf she had prepared, Miklock stopped. Her eyes firmly suggested, "Take this. You said it was 4 months, right? Of course I believe that you will return safely, but keep it with you for the next 4 months, and let it remind you of tonight." Miklock shyly accepted it. "All right, I will keep it." The other knights started teasing at this moment. "Oh my, whistle." At this moment Leah was looking around to find William's figure. While she was looking for him, Leah happily said, "I will tie it on your sword." After the cloth was tied on the sword, it was also the moment when Miklock departed. Before leaving he didn't forget to leave the words, "Well then, I will be back soon, Leah." She also hoped that he could return safely. "Yes, please return safely." After waving goodbye to Miklock, Leah turned to cry with Millie. "Millie, what should I do?" Seeing her expression was too fierce made her startle. "Your Highness." Leah was really heartbroken at this moment that Miklock had to leave for 4 months. 4 months, a whole 4 months. "Oh, I've fallen in love with that face. How can I live? I'm so scared." Millie couldn't help but feel helpless after hearing these words. Ha, what should I do? While feeling depressed, Leah immediately realized, wait a moment. "Millie, aren't you wearing a scarf?" Being asked like this made her jump. Then quickly ran into the palace. "Ouch, it's too cold, let's go inside quickly, Your Highness." Leah didn't let go and kept asking, "Wait, Millie, who did you give it to?" Millie still insisted on not letting her know. It's too cold, I'll go in first." Back to the Marquis mansion. Haley sat dazedly on the ground after reading the letter on the table. She looked back at this moment, then squeezed the letter and screamed. Then the surroundings quickly became a mess. Looking at the letter torn to pieces on the ground made Haley unable to understand. "Why? In all of you, why me? Why do I have to be the one to marry the emperor?" She painfully cried her eyes out. At this moment, the teacup on the table was knocked to the ground by someone, making Haley confused. "What do you mean?" She still insisted on not accepting this, the 12th concubine of the old emperor. That position should have belonged to Leah. The Marquis crossed his arms and interrupted. "Lower your voice, Haley." His eyes narrowed extremely uncomfortably. At that time, the Marquis had met His Majesty and said, "Your Majesty, I have come to receive the 80,000 gold coins that you promised to give if we bring Leah to you." His Majesty quickly remembered. I remember now, that's right." But at this moment, he immediately went back on his word. "But hasn't Miss Leah become the Queen of Fritton?" These words made the Marquis freeze. He wanted to argue at this moment. "Your Majesty, Leah's marriage partner was changed due to an agreement between the palace and Fritton." His Majesty still didn't listen. "Oh, how can I soothe my regret for not being able to have my beautiful queen?" The Marquis confusedly asked back. What do you mean?" At this moment, he curled his lips meaningfully. "Isn't there still a beloved daughter that you cherish very much? Her name is Haley, if I remember correctly. If Haley enters the palace and becomes my concubine next month, then I believe that my regret will be lessened and I may grant the Marquis what he desires." And at this moment the Marquis quickly recalled, the Emperor is trying to go back on his word and won't give the 80,000 gold coins in exchange for Leah anymore. The Marchioness quickly became annoyed and grumbled, "Oh my god, Derek, if we don't have that 80,000 gold coins, we will collapse, the Marquis quickly replied, so Haley must enter the palace. Then he began to paint a picture. If Haley becomes a royal concubine, then we can not only reclaim Leah's gold, but also demand land, otherwise all the efforts we have made so far will be in vain. Anyway, we should see this as a blessing. It's good that we still have another daughter. These words really broke Haley's last string of reason. She called out, "Father." Then Haley began to question, "Are you only thinking about selling your children in your head?" These words made the Marquis stiffen. He stammered and couldn't speak. But then finally asked inhumanely, "So what? When Leah was about to become the queen, you were also very happy that you were about to receive 80,000 gold coins. Now that Leah is gone, you have to rebuild the family, there is no other choice." Haley insisted on not wanting to bear this debt. "This family's debt was caused by your gambling. Why should I be the one to bear it?" These words made the Marquis go crazy, so he slapped her hard in the face. The Marquis' eyes threatened, "How dare you? You should be grateful for being raised well, yet you dare to argue with me." Then he didn't relent and made a decision. "The wedding will take place in a month, focus on preparing." These words made Haley resign herself. She gritted her teeth and looked at him with hatred. Back on this side, Leah kept questioning Millie. "Millie, are you really not going to tell me?" Her eyes shone brightly, pleading, "Please, who did you steal the heart of that you can't say?" She was quickly defeated by that look. Really, it's not like that." Then Millie said, "I just gave it to one of the knights to wish for victory. That scarf doesn't have any special meaning." These words made Leah sweat profusely. Then she had to give up. "Well, if you said so, then so be it." At this moment, Leah went over to pick up a glass of water. Then splashed it hard on the burning fire. Then wondered, "Millie, but yesterday, was the Fritton castle this hot?" Millie smiled and replied, "Yes, that's right." She was also very surprised. "Why is it so hot all of a sudden? But anyway, it's still better than being cold." Seeing Leah's complexion was very bad, Millie was worried. "Queen, your highness, do you feel very hot? You are sweating a lot." Leah still didn't know what she looked like. She then explained, I've always been sensitive to heat like this." "No, that's not right." She quickly ran over and called out, "Queen, your highness." Seeing Leah fall hard to the ground like that made Millie even more worried. "Queen, your highness. What's wrong, your highness? Please stay awake." She was very dizzy and confused at the moment. So dizzy, why did this happen so suddenly? I have a feeling that this has happened before. Then in a daze, Leah quickly remembered when she hugged her mother and cried, "Mother." She kept asking about the wounds on her face. "What's wrong, mother? Who did this to you?" At that time, the mother just smiled and comforted, "I'm fine, Leah, this is nothing to me. As long as I rest a little, I'll get better soon." But unexpectedly after saying that, she spat blood, making Leah worried. "Mother." She clenched her hand and didn't want to accept it. "No. I don't want you to be sick anymore." Immediately a burst of power erupted from Leah's body. That light spread throughout the house. Then Leah woke up at that time. As soon as she woke up, she quickly wanted to go find her mother. "Mother, no." But when she saw her sitting next to Leah, she was blank. The mother smiled gently and asked, "Dear Leah, are you awake?" Seeing that her mother was fine made Leah surprised. Mother, you're not sick anymore?" Hearing Leah ask, but she didn't answer. But only began to feed her medicine. "Come on, Leah, drink the medicine." But standing in front of that medicine, Leah didn't want to drink it. "No, Leah is not sick," the mother said when she heard that. "If Leah doesn't drink the medicine, I won't drink it either." Hearing that, she had no choice but to drink the medicine uncomfortably. Munch munch. As soon as she finished drinking, Leah realized in a daze, this medicine is not bitter at all." The mother immediately smiled happily. "Hee, right. Now it's okay." Leah's power too. She immediately nodded obediently. Then the mother smiled and comforted, "Don't worry, Leah, I will protect." And finally she woke up from that dream and exclaimed, "Ouch." As soon as she sat up, she kept complaining, my head." Seeing that Leah had woken up made Millie happy to the point of crying. "Oh, Queen, your highness. Are you okay? Please lie down and rest a little more. You're not cooked." Leah affirmed, "No, now, I'm better." Then suddenly Leah was blank. Again making Millie worried. "What's wrong? Does anything hurt more?" At this moment she couldn't help but laugh. "Hee, Millie, are you really worried because I fainted? You decorated the room so beautifully." Millie confused. What are you talking about?" Leah hurriedly said, "Didn't you decorate this room?" She cried and said, "I was too worried about the queen's safety, so I couldn't think about decorating at all, and this room is still exactly the same as before." This words made Leah blank. "Really?" She looked at the golden lights in front of her in confusion. Then, what are these golden lights? Millie didn't understand what Leah was talking about. "What?" She reached out and touched those lights, then said, "I mean these floating lights." Thinking that Leah had just woken up and had a concussion, so she couldn't help but tear up. "Your highness, Queen, your highness. She saw Millie's eyes like this and denied it. No, why are you looking at me like that? You really can't see these yellow lights. She covered her mouth wanting to cry to the point of helplessness. That's right, I'm telling the truth. Suddenly you fainted, and now you're talking. Leah was so angry that she couldn't stand it and punched Millie straight in the face. Making her fall hard to the ground, she quickly apologized. Millie, I'm sorry, I accidentally hit you. Millie sat on the ground and began to wonder, could it be? Your head hurts a lot, is that why you see it wrong? Thinking of this, she quickly jumped up. I have to call the doctor right away, but Leah immediately didn't allow it. No, Millie, of course I'm just kidding. Millie asked again to confirm. Really, you're really kidding? She smiled, trying to affirm that, yeah, it must be because I have a fever. She was relieved when she heard this, so relieved. I thought the queen had gone crazy. Leah was more confused as she listened. What, could it be that only I can see it? Could it be that I've really gone crazy? But somehow these lights have something familiar. At that time she had a strong desire that, I don't want my mother to be sick anymore. Then Millie immediately asked Leah for her opinion. Well then, Queen Your Highness, can I let everyone in now? At this moment everyone peeked behind the door and whispered to each other. Queen Your Highness, everyone. She was confused. Everyone, Millie quickly said. The new servants have come to greet you, but when they heard that Your Highness fainted, they all became anxious. At that time everyone rushed in and asked, Queen Your Highness, are you okay? Queen Your Highness, what happened? Leah smiled and agreed. Let them in. She turned to call, everyone can come in now. After that voice, the room door immediately opened. Then 3 servants appeared looking at her with compassion. Queen Your Highness. Everyone kept asking and caring nonstop. Queen Your Highness, I was so worried. Are you okay? When I heard that you suddenly fainted, I thought my heart stopped beating. What idiot brought such a high-energy stone so carelessly? The servants were actively worried about Leah when suddenly a clearing throat rang out, making everyone startle and stop. That person was full of murderous intent and began to scold, you blockheads. Can you keep the before Queen Your Highness? The manager shouted loudly to warn. Then he came over and bowed to greet Leah. Your Highness, I apologize for their rude behavior, but she didn't seem to mind this and waved her hand. No, it's okay. Everyone is just worried about me. The manager then introduced himself. I am Colin, the chief manager of this castle. If you have any inconvenience in the castle, please let me know. Leah was also sweating and introduced herself. Oh right, I am Leah Fritton, please take care of me. She was a little worried in her heart. Wow, it feels like I can't get close. Colin seemed to realize that Leah was speaking very respectfully, so he reminded, please feel free to speak to me, and her expression was confused at this moment. He suddenly blushed, ahem. Then cared about her health. Are you really okay? Suddenly receiving such concern made Leah smile happily and reply, okay, really okay. Seeing the harmonious scene in this space made Colin also happy. Please feel free. Millie was relieved after witnessing this. And as expected, I really look forward to living here. In the evening when the moon was high, Miklock had arrived at the monster's lair. As soon as he saw them, he couldn't help but curl his lips. Then felt contemptuous and sighed. Holding a festival at this time is short-sighted. William agreed with this. I agree. At this moment, an assassin ran over to inform, Your Majesty. Through the survey, it is indeed true that the Mayan tribe has successfully negotiated with Hapen to cut down the golden pine. He was angry and scolded when he heard this. These crazy bastards. Miklock immediately asked about another issue. The production area of Vange's pine given to the Mayan tribe has no problems, right? The assassin affirmed. Yes, the production area managed by the Mayan tribe is completely undamaged. There are no traces of Hapen's felling. He again asked about another issue. What about the food prepared for the festival? The assassin said, it seems that they have gathered food from threatening the people in the outskirts of Fritton. Finally Miklock understood everything. I understand, they must think that Pitten is an easy target. William didn't forget to remind him, Your Majesty, we must set an example. The assassin added, Your Majesty, I have checked the addition that you requested to confirm. Miklock quickly ordered, report. The assassin immediately said, an unfortunate accident has just happened. It is related to the mysterious kidnapping case. Your Majesty's confirmation seems to be necessary. As soon as he heard this, his face quickly became gloomy. Then squeezed the sword in his hand and ordered, lead the way immediately. In the Forge of Mayan. They were discussing something. Have you heard anything? It seems there is a festival in the village at this time. We must finish our work quickly if we want to attend the festival for a bit. I heard that they have gathered delicious drinks. Isn't there enough work? It seems that everyone has time to talk. A Mayan turned back and smiled. Haha, that can't be right. If you want to attend the festival, move faster, go add more materials to the golden pine. The group immediately replied, okay. Then stepped outside. Then became surprised when the Mayans were tormenting humans. They kept hitting and urging, hurry up, The human being beaten immediately begged, "Please spare me." Another man was angry, "Hey, why are you moving the golden pine so slowly? Wait a minute, do you think I like slow? This garbage doesn't even do their job." While scolding he noticed one side. Then saw the Mayan leader come. "Leader, you're here." The leader quickly replied, yeah. Then he came over and asked about the situation. "The production process of the golden pine is still going on without any obstacles, right?" The Mayan confirmed. "Of course, thanks to you, leader, everything is much easier." Then Mayan looked at the human and said, I'm having a hard time educating this trash." The human being just now kept begging, "Please spare me, please spare me." Mayan was confident at this time, but soon, Fritten will be under Mayan. The stupid Fritten are being distracted by Haroon, giving us time to prepare for close combat. As expected, your great plan is admirable, leader. He was happy and proud to be praised. This is just a basic strategy. If we put these human slaves on the front lines, even the fierce Fritten dogs will be hopeless. These stupid humans will not be able to attack before being burned. As expected, the leader is the true king of Mayan. Humans can't even smell the smoke as if they are something because of the golden pine. This is the inevitable consequence. Mayan quickly praised, "That's right, you're so right. So, isn't this a fitting punishment for them, leader? Like the poor, they are just." Just as he finished speaking, Miklok appeared and chopped off the Mayan leader's head. Then didn't forget to mock, It seems that your intelligence is not even as good as the poor. Fritten has constantly given you opportunities." The Mayan saw that the leader had been killed and fearfully sat down blankly. He didn't relent and approached one moment at a time. "However, you not only betrayed Fritten but also kidnapped and tortured their commoners. If this is not treating people as less than grass, then what is it? I will personally let you know what will happen if you betray Fritten." As soon as he finished speaking, the knights of Fritten were ready to aim, making the Mayan scared and run away. Miklok's eyes were extremely scary and declared, "After today, there will be no Mayan tribe in this world." After a while, after solving the Mayan, the knight quickly came over to report, "Your Majesty, I have finished solving the matter over there." He praised when he heard this. "Very good, any injuries?" The knight confidently affirmed at this time, "No, Your Majesty, we will never be injured when fighting demons. If someone is injured, it is the shame of the knight. The knight's body is currently the blood of the Mayan tribe." The knight couldn't believe it, really, he was so drunk that he couldn't smell the fuel. Seeing William come over, Miklok quickly asked about the situation. "William, have you found the successor of the Mayan tribe yet?" He quickly reported, About that. I'm very sorry, it seems that person didn't participate in this banquet." The knight confused, "I haven't seen you this whole time because you were looking for the successor." William affirmed, "Yeah, have you met Raf?" But the knight didn't seem to know. "Oh, I don't know either. There is no accurate information about the successor except the name Lidic." "Right, I haven't even folded anyone before." Miklok thought after hearing this conversation. The two were still discussing. They have never made the successor public, always giving the reason that he is too young so no one can do anything, even if he is still alive. What can a child do to live? And there is a rumor that he was expelled because he was too resourceful. If he has really been expelled, he will not try to take revenge. He quickly made a judgment. It's best to eliminate all dangers, but I have no other choice." The knight was excited when he heard this. "Okay, let's go back." Finally Miklok waved his hand and ordered all the knights, burn their hideout and immediately retreat to Tell Valley. Then after that the entire Mayan tribe was completely burned down. Everything became desolate with only blood and dust left. From within the weeds, there was a noise. Then a foot slowly stepped out. That Mayan shed tears when he saw his tribe completely destroyed. Then screamed in the cold winter night. It seemed that he hated Miklok to the bone. Miklok Fritten. He immediately swore, "I will never forgive you." At a crystal clear stream, the knights were soaking to wash away the blood stains on their bodies. The scene was very harmonious. Miklok and William on this side were sitting under the waterfall to wash away the blood stains on their bodies. William was delighted with a pale face. "It's great that we went to war before winter came." Miklok was also very satisfied with this. "Yeah, soon the river and the valley will freeze, and I won't be able to wash away the blood." He couldn't understand, but is it necessary to stand and wash the blood under the waterfall? The red-haired knight happily washed away the blood stains on his body. Finally, "I feel better." The blue-haired knight noticed at this moment. Oh, is that a scarf? Did your mother give it to you?" The red-haired knight held the scarf in his hand triumphantly. "What? Haha, you think I'm like you. This was given to me by a girl from Haroon." Those words immediately echoed in Miklok's ears. His face immediately darkened and radiated murderous intent, making the two knights scared. The red-haired knight still didn't understand anything and smiled in confusion. Why did the water suddenly warm up? Haha. Miklok came over and called out, "Hey! Then his face was full of murderous intent and interrogated, "The girl from Haroon, when did she give you the scarf?" The red-haired knight immediately turned into a tiny person under his oppression. Then explained tremblingly, "What's wrong? No, it was, before we left, when Queen Your Majesty gave it to you. The Queen's servant Millie gave it to me." William stopped immediately after hearing this. He immediately looked up in surprise. What? Before leaving, Millie went looking around. Then came in front of the red-haired knight stammering, "Excuse me." He stopped when he heard that. Yeah. She then asked about William's situation. "By the way, do you know where William is?" The red-haired knight looked around when he heard that. The captain is next to Your Majesty." "Wait, where did that guy go? Where did that guy go? I can't see him," she owed when she heard this. Then asked, "Well, can you receive it for him?" The red-haired knight confused, "Yes." Millie shyly handed it out. "This scarf, according to pretend customs, a girl gives it to a boy to pray for his victory." The red-haired knight took it excitedly. "Oh, no, what an honor," she modestly said shyly. I'm just a servant." Then he asked again, "By the way, what's your name?" Millie also said, "I'm Millie, the Queen's maid." After she finished, the red-haired knight affirmed, "That's when I received this. I wasn't going to say it, but I was supposed to give it to Captain William, right?" Finally the murderous aura on Mikok's body diminished when he knew it wasn't given by Leah. I understand," he replied. "Yes, that's right." William was silently standing behind. Then suddenly jumped up angrily. "Why? What does that guy have that she gave him a scarf?" The blue-haired knight came over jealously after hearing that. "That bastard Raf, you actually went to seduce a Hapan girl. Haha, it seems that I'm very popular in Haroon." William was extremely angry. "I talk to them as much, and I'm even better looking. I'm even better." Suddenly he realized that he didn't have any status, so what right did he have to be jealous? "No, but it's true. I mean, I have the right to be sulky, and I'm even a little sad." While scratching his head, William suddenly stopped. Then blushed and felt extremely uncomfortable. "I thought we were a little closer." On this side, a priest knelt down and wondered, "Your Majesty, what is this? I have told you countless times, that child is the son of Urahel, that power must be stronger now." The Majesty roared when he heard that. "Shut up." He pointed at the humble official and criticized, "When will the supreme priest stop babbling about that power? That young lady has had an engagement ceremony. Isn't it strange that it hasn't gotten stronger yet?" The humble official tried to explain, "It may be clear that Urahel has done something to prevent it." The Majesty quickly interrupted, "And that child is also part of the Heron royal family and belongs to me. I have used it when needed, so why make a fuss? If you hadn't let that bitch escape from the temple, I wouldn't need Urahel's child." The humble official paused when he was scolded. Then tremblingly wanted to say, "That matter." The Majesty didn't care anymore and ordered, "Put the supreme priest in prison." The humble official shouted immediately when he heard that, "Your Majesty. Your Majesty, you can't do that. You must bring Urahel's child back here." He still didn't care about the words the humble official said. "TSK, it seems that the old man has finally gone crazy. He doesn't know what to do right." The humble official kept saying, "That child must be a part of Haroon. Moreover, the root of Haroon will be destroyed." The Majesty didn't move after hearing it. "Because this random thing is not the reason for the collapse of Haroon." He smiled evilly. "Are you specifically referring to me? That's silly. That is a power that cannot be obtained, but what can that power really do?" There's nothing to worry about if you're careful." Thinking of this, the Majesty immediately ordered, "Listen here." "Yes, Your Majesty." He said, "I will send a letter to the family of Marquis Uskel, so prepare, and to the family of Earl Stone too." The humble official on this side was sent straight to prison. He sat in prison in pain. His expression was about to collapse. When he remembered the words that the Majesty had said, "If you hadn't let that bitch escape from the temple, I wouldn't need Urahel's child." The humble official remembered the smile of a woman. "Ha, silly Harris, you can't stand this." He slumped down in frustration and asked himself, "Now then, what should I do?" On this side, Leah exclaimed as soon as she saw her bedroom, "Oh my god, so this is my bedroom. This place is as luxurious as the honeymoon suite." Millie agreed with that. "That's right, this room is really beautiful." Leah smiled and thought, "The honeymoon suite is also great, but I don't want to be alone in a room without Mick." At that time, Colin asked her, "Queen Your Majesty, do you still want to continue staying in the honeymoon suite, or do you want to move to the South Palace, where your bedroom is?" At that time she unexpectedly chose the South Palace. As soon as she arrived at the room, Leah felt that the air was very hot. "But it's quite hot here too. Can you tell them to move away some of the magic stones?" Millie quickly did as she was told. Yes, understood." Then she made a suggestion, "Well, while they're moving the magic stones, would you like to take a walk?" Leah wondered, take a walk? Millie said, yes, it seems there is a small festival in the square today, you should go and see. She was very curious about the festival here. A festival? Should I go and see what's there, on the crowded streets? As soon as she arrived, Leah's eyes lit up and she exclaimed, oh my god, so many people. Millie seemed to be very excited too, that's right. As she was walking, she noticed the jewelry on display on the roadside. There are many stalls along the road too. Oh, what is this? The owner greeted her as soon as he saw a customer. Welcome. The owner introduced, this is a decoration for writing paper. Millie's eyes lit up when she saw those things. Oh my god, so cute. Leah seemed to remember something when she heard about writing paper. Then remembered Robbie. Oh, I need to send a letter to Robbie to report that I have arrived in Fritton. Before leaving, he told her, remember to write a letter, Leah, goodbye. But hearing the price of up to 20 silver coins shocked Millie. Too expensive. Leah was currently looking around. Since I've come to the festival, should I buy something to send along? As soon as she looked, she saw what she needed to buy. Then ran to the stall opposite. While Millie was still scolding, rip off, the owner uncomfortably said, are you done talking? As soon as she saw the brooches on display on the shelf, Leah's eyes lit up. Oh my god, the brooches are so beautiful. The owner praised when he heard that. Young lady has a good eye. Leah quickly asked the price. How much are they? The owner's eyes lit up and reported the price. Young lady, you're so pretty. Okay, I'll only take 70 silver coins. Hearing the price shocked Leah. What, 70 silver coins? She didn't accept it and bargained. 40 silver coins, 65 silver coins, 50 silver coins, 60 silver coins. This is the final price. She was annoyed. Gore. Then thought, it's really expensive. However, I still have the emergency fund I borrowed from the Marquis mansion. Finally Leah quickly took out a gold coin. Then seriously paid. A brooch. Give me the correct change. The owner excitedly tricked a big fish. Yes, thank you. After buying the brooch, Leah was excited. Not bad, really beautiful. I paid attention to this color because it's exactly like Robbie's hair color. Robbie will definitely like it. Leah was about to call out, that's right, Millie, but when she saw her expression, she was scared. Then startled and apologized, oh my god, I'm sorry. Before that, after buying the brooch, Leah went to find Millie. Millie, where did she go? Could it be that she got lost again? She kept searching. Millie, where are you, Millie? But while she was searching, Leah bumped into someone. Millie, oh my god. Careful, seeing the goods about to fall on her, but Leah could only stand there blankly. She closed her eyes tightly in fear. No. But right at that moment Leah disappeared, making the people around her stunned. Hey, are you okay? Where did she go? Hey, you. Leah on this side was saved by someone to an alley. She opened her eyes and looked. Then was immediately startled. Oops, who are you? But she only cared about asking, are you okay? You should pay attention to the road. Leah's eyes lit up full of gratitude when she heard that. Wait, you saved me. She turned away at this moment. Alright, you can say that. She saw the serious wound on her body and asked, what's wrong? Are you injured? She only smiled wryly at this moment. It seems that what's in that box is more dangerous than I thought. Leah felt very sorry. Oh no, you're bleeding. The wound is very serious. It's all my fault. Although she heard that, she only said, don't worry. Such a small wound is nothing. But as soon as she finished speaking, her eyes widened in surprise. When a golden light radiated from Leah, light. This made her confused. What's going on again? Right after that light, Leah quickly fainted. Fortunately she was supported. She also took her cloak and put it on her. Unexpectedly the wound on her shoulder had disappeared. I still can't control my power. She took something out at this moment. Then put it on Leah's neck. Hoping, this will be helpful to your highness. Before disappearing, she didn't forget to leave the words, so I hope we meet again soon. When the sun had turned orange, Leah gradually opened her eyes. Then startled and looked around. Oops, where am I? She noticed the coat she was wearing. Finally remembered everything. That's right, someone saved me and was injured because of me. What is this box? Let's just take it with me for now. Where is that person? I hope they're okay. While Leah was searching for her, Millie found her. She cried and ran over, calling out loudly, Queen, your highness. I hate you, your highness, you idiot. Where have you been all this time? Seeing Millie like this made Leah embarrassed. Oh, Millie, sorry, you've been looking for me everywhere. Then she explained, I got lost and fell asleep for a while. Millie startled and asked back, what, you're not sick again, are you? Leah denied that. No, instead of being sick, actually, while speaking, she realized something. Come to think of it, my headache has disappeared. The golden light I saw before is not unfamiliar anymore. On the contrary, it has a familiar feeling. Millie said happily at this moment, I'm glad you're not in pain anymore. But, in the meantime, did you buy a necklace? Leah was a little confused when she heard that. Necklace. Looking at the necklace on her neck, Leah determined, that person put it on me before leaving. This is the first time I've seen this necklace, but it feels very familiar. I also feel lighter than before. She looked at the necklace and hesitated to answer. I guess so. Millie was frustrated when she heard that. Really, don't tell me you forgot about Millie just because of this necklace. Leah helplessly apologized. Haha, sorry, Millie. She then thought about the things that happened today. Today all kinds of strange things happened. I suddenly dreamed of my mother, a golden light appeared, and a stranger appeared. I'm so tired, I just want to go back quickly. Thinking so, Leah went ahead and called Millie. Let's go back, Millie. She quickly replied, yes, Your Highness. And when she returned to the palace, Leah sweated and called, Millie, yes, Your Highness. Looking at the wall full of cobwebs, with cuts everywhere. Everything seemed so tattered and old that Leah was helpless. She was really a little unexpected. Is the inside of the castle always like this? At this moment, Colin cleared his throat and said, that is one of the reasons why the wedding had to take place quickly. His Majesty has been too focused on military power and conquest, and completely neglected the internal affairs of the castle. Finally Leah understood everything. Then she thought for a moment, Finally made a decision. Okay, let's see. Leah excitedly asked herself, should I carry out my first task as the Queen of Britain? Saying this, she turned to ask Colin about her authority. Colin, what does my authority as the Queen of Britain include? Leah saw that he didn't answer and repeated, Colin. Finally Colin smiled and said, when His Majesty is absent, most of the authority is handed over to you, Your Highness. So, please give orders as you wish. She smiled mischievously when she heard this. Then became extremely excited. Great, it seems I will have a lot to do before His Majesty returns here. Then she began to care about other things. First, I need to understand the Kingdom of Britain. Leah requested Colin, take me to the study first. He also obediently followed, yes, Your Highness. Then she asked about the warming stones. Most of the mana warming stones were removed while I was away, right? Colin affirmed, yes, according to your orders. Only the necessary amount was kept to maintain the appropriate temperature, and the rest was returned to the national treasury. Leah was very satisfied when she heard that. So that's it, that solves one problem. I was very worried because I heard that Britain is extremely cold. But it seems that I don't have to worry about that anymore. But outside, countless people are suffering from this cold. The maids on this side were very helpless. Ouch, really, how many times has this happened? Hick, this queen is really hot-tempered. I can't serve her anymore. What should we do now? No one wants to stay and serve her anymore. Someone in the corner heard that information. Then spoke, excuse me. That voice startled the three maids. Then she stepped out and asked for help. This is the first time I've entered the palace, so I got lost. The maids shouted and questioned as soon as they saw her. Who are you? She said again, I'm sorry, but... Do you know the way to the bedchamber of the 12th queen? Both maids remembered when they heard that. That's right. We decided to send a new maid to serve her. Then a maid stepped forward to lead the way. Have you forgotten? I will show you the way again, so follow me. She smirked when she heard that. Okay, let's go. As she walked, the maid sighed with regret. It's really bad timing. You're really unlucky. She wondered, what happened? The maid quickly recounted, I don't know if you've heard, but the current queen is the sister of the woman who was destined to marry the emperor. She was forced into the palace and makes a fuss every day. She understood everything when she heard that. I understand, that's terrible. The maid was a little upset at this time. I understand her feelings, but that doesn't change the fact that this is a nightmare for us. There is someone who vents anger on the maids. So no one wants to serve her. I'm sorry for scaring you before you started, but if you can't stand it, tell me now. That woman won't even hesitate to kill anyone. She couldn't hide her smile as she listened. Then she made a sympathetic comment, even so, she's so pitiful. The maid was surprised when she heard this. What? She immediately promised, I will try my best to serve her. Her words made the maid confused. Then didn't care anymore. Well, okay, I've warned you. You won't understand until you experience it yourself. We're here, be careful not to get hurt. After taking her to the place, the maid immediately left. She couldn't help but curl her lips into a happy smile. But as soon as she entered, she was hit in the face with a cup of tea when she had only just managed to say, sorry for intruding. Haley uncomfortably asked, who are you? She saw her unstable condition and smiled from ear to ear. Then smiled and greeted, nice to meet you, Your Highness, I am the new maid assigned to serve you. Haley uncomfortably repeated the words she had said. Didn't I make it clear? I said I don't need a maid. But unexpectedly she bluntly commented, you look so pathetic. Her words made her go crazy. Couldn't help but yell, are you done talking? But she didn't care and closed the door, then reminded, Your Highness, you must have been a beauty before. Haley couldn't understand what she wanted to say. What? She gave a sly smile. You are adorned with gorgeous jewelry and expensive dresses. You must have had many suitors. Ah, this is not the life you imagined. My life was sold like a commodity, to pay off my father's gambling debts. At that time, His Majesty forced her, come here, Haley. Although she didn't want to, but to pay off her father's gambling debts, she had to offer herself to him. This is not my life, not at all. Everything should have been hers, that is, her life. She showed a satisfied expression when she heard that. Then came over and said, I heard that originally another young lady was supposed to marry in your place. Haley painfully called out, Leah. At this moment she put her hand on her shoulder and offered a rosy life. Do you want to take back everything? Return the queen position to the one who should have it, and regain the luxurious life you once had. I can help you do that. These words seemed to have hypnotized Haley's mind. That's right, nothing has ever been reasonable. How can someone like me be treated like this? This position originally belonged to Leah, if she became the queen as originally planned. She looked down at Haley expecting her decision. Then startled in surprise. When she had seriously made a decision, what do I need to do? Seeing this expression made her tremble with joy. Then happily gave the plan. First, let's start with taking a bath. A clear mind starts with a clean body. Haley looked up silently at this moment. Then began to care. You, what's your name? She was a little startled when she was suddenly asked her name. Then turned around. Then introduced himself. My name is Yulan, Your Highness. Returned to the Emperor's palace. Leah, after reading for a long time, stretched tiredly. Then she continuously massaged her shoulders. I'm so stiff. I've been here for days. I knew this wouldn't be easy, but... While stretching a bit, Leah quickly noticed, According to what's written in the book, the previous king of Britain suffered from a strange, incurable disease from 867 and died in 868. She grew more curious as she read. The previous king of Britain, that's my father-in-law? Now that I think about it, I did mention His Majesty's father-in-law back then. So, what do the Samal history books say? After searching for a while, Leah found it. Found it. She began to flip through the pages, reading, the previous king of Samal passed away in 867. This really startled Leah. That's all it says about the previous king of Samal? But I clearly said that His Majesty's father committed suicide. I wouldn't arbitrarily distort history, and there's no reason for that to be changed. So, could that have been my father-in-law? But that doesn't make sense either. What incurable disease did His Majesty's father have? Leah's gaze suddenly turned melancholy. He really didn't love my mother? While these stray thoughts tormented Leah, Millie suddenly peeked in to observe. She immediately approached and asked, Your Highness, are you here again today? Seeing her appear made Leah happy. Millie, are you here too? Millie advised her, I know you're doing all this for Fritten, but you should take a break sometimes. Leah suddenly struck a pose like a truly responsible person. This is the challenge I must overcome if I want to become a proper mistress. Anyway, studying isn't too unfamiliar to me. It's quite comfortable. Millie found this to be true. Now that I think about it, Your Highness used to spend all her time in the study with young Master Robbie. Mentioning that time, she immediately recalled it. That's right. I should thank Robbie. Thanks to him, everything now feels familiar. Seeing Leah only remember Robbie, Millie quickly stood up. Don't forget that I also did my duty as a guard at Stone Manor, okay? Seeing Millie's act and words made her burst out laughing. That's right, you too. Remembering that time, Leah became happy. Oh. That was the only time I felt happy in Haroon. Flashback to 5 years ago. When the Marquis was walking around the mansion. Always being observed by Millie in disguise. Then reporting back to Leah like a true spy. Everything's fine. No problems detected. She was startled at this time. Then she scolded Robbie, you startled me. I thought it was the Count. At that time, Robbie, who was 15 years old, said, I told you, you shouldn't be here. Leah quickly made a decision. Alright, let's move on to the next step. Suddenly changing direction like this surprised Robbie. What? So fast? He was really frustrated with studying like this. Leah, shouldn't we take a break? But she immediately refused. No. You've learned all this at the academy, but I don't know anything. You said you'd teach me, right? What was the next lesson you learned? Robbie, come here. Robbie was really resigned. But suddenly, he opened his eyes. Then he gave a lesson. Ahem, the next lesson is dancing. Suddenly mentioning dancing made Leah blank out. Huh? She wondered, they teach that at the academy too? Robbie hesitated to explain, well, yes. Dancing is an elegant skill that people of all ages should master, so they've included it in the curriculum. Leah immediately refused. But I've already learned dancing, so let's skip this lesson and move on to the next one. But Robbie refused to allow it. Dancing at the academy is on a completely different level. These words made Leah curious. Really? How is it different? Robbie blushed and stammered, well, it's... Unable to explain in words, he reached out his hand. Then, blushing, he said, you'll understand as soon as you dance with me. This really made Leah happy and laugh. She also put her hand up, accepting to dance with Robbie. Okay, let's dance. Robbie, I actually know. Leah quickly exposed him. You haven't really learned this, have you? You lied because you didn't want to study anymore. Robbie stammered, that was a mistake. When he lied, his ears turned red like that. While dancing, Leah recognized and instructed Robbie, you have to hold my waist firmly. Oh well, because I always ask you for help, I'll give you a little leeway. What else can I do? Leah's face sparkled with pride. Finally, I have something to teach Robbie, huh? After all, he's the friend who showed me this world. Oh, except for dancing. Millie recalled that she was still nervous at the time. The day I finally got caught in the act, my heart was pounding nonstop. At that time, the Marquis burst open the door and scolded. Robbie, you brat, playing with Leah again? Go play with Haley. Millie tried to stop the Marquis. Oops, oh my god, run quickly. Then Robbie grabbed Leah's hand and ran away. Remembering that really made her laugh. Haha, as long as we don't get caught, it's fine. Now that I think about it, I should write a letter with a brooch later. Millie also agreed with that. That's a good idea. I'll get you some stationery and a pen. She scratched her face, saying, I want to write a letter to Robbie and invite him to visit Fritton, but... She also scratched her head, understanding. Count Stone will never allow it, right? Even so, Leah still really wanted to see Robbie again. I'm a little lonely, but what can I do? I guess I'll have to go to Haroon myself one day. But at least I have a wonderful, handsome lover in Fritton. Seeing Leah's infatuated expression towards Micklock, Millie felt sorry for Robbie. Young Master Robbie, what a pity. Leah kept exclaiming, oh, I miss him again. Millie was really helpless. It seems your highness values love more than friendship, huh? On Robbie's side, he was writing something and suddenly paused. Huh? He suddenly became flustered and broke out in a cold sweat. I feel so sad. Why do I suddenly have this feeling? Robbie immediately asked his attendant, Mans, hasn't Leah sent a letter yet? Mans was confused. A letter? Sir? Suddenly, he seemed to remember something. Oh, now that you mention it. He thought there was a letter from Leah, which made Robbie excited. But unexpectedly, it was information. A letter just arrived from the royal palace. I wonder what it is. But, there's no letter from Miss Leah. These words really made Robbie want to cry. He sadly asked himself, Leah, are you still writing a letter? And on this side, Leah forgot to write the letter again. On Micklock's side. He was actively clearing out monsters. Attack. Aya. Suddenly, two people from another tribe looked down at Micklock and exclaimed, that's right, he really is the king of Fritton. He quickly gave the order, all troops, advance. Toward the Fritton Knights. Micklock, after clearing out the monsters, immediately turned and called out, William. He also replied, yes, your majesty. He asked about the situation, how's the conquest going? William quickly reported the situation. We've almost cleared the designated area. After hearing this, Micklock suddenly didn't say anything more. Then suddenly made a decision. I need to speed up the progress. These words startled him. Yes. William seemed to recognize his mood. You must be eager to return. Suddenly, Micklock raised his hand to stop him. Both looked ahead and saw a group of people approaching. Your Majesty, they are the Malo tribe. Suddenly, a member of the Malo tribe waved a white flag of surrender. Seeing this, he loudly said, stop. Then asked the reason, what is the reason for you standing on the land of Fritton? He began to explain, I am Julman, a knight representing the kingdom of Malo. The king of Malo wants to propose an alliance and apologizes if this is done a little disrespectfully. Micklock looked at William in surprise for confirmation. The Malo tribe has established a kingdom? He confirmed, yes, that's right. I heard they've expanded their power, uniting all the surrounding tribes and declaring it a kingdom. The red-haired knight felt amused upon hearing this. Creating a kingdom. Your Majesty, they may be planning to betray us, like when the Mayan tribe pretended to surrender. He immediately nodded his head to signal his attendant beside him. Immediately, a document was presented. Not only the Kingdom of Malo, but 5 allied tribes from the northeast have agreed to the same agreement. We request approval from the Kingdom of Fritain. Miklock took the document. Then opened it to examine it. Mana stones, minerals, that's a large amount of tribute. Much more than what the Malo tribe offered. After reading, Miklock wondered, and your request is? Jolman immediately explained, this is a non-aggression pact between the Kingdom of Fritain and the Kingdom of Malo. And also the Northeastern Noble Alliance, along with the necessities to help them get through the winter. He was a little confused. Why apply such unfavorable conditions? He said, unlike humans, demons don't place much value on mana or minerals. They care more about stockpiling food to survive the winter. If the agreement is successful, the demons will have no reason to attack the villages on the border of Fritain. As soon as he finished speaking, the document in Miklock's hand fell to the ground. He pointed his sword, creating a cut on Jolman's neck. Miklock repeated his question once more, what I want to ask is, the true intention of the Kingdom of Malo. Seeing him so sharp made him fall silent and contemplate. Then he began to explain, we have heard rumors that the Malo tribe has been destroyed. As a newly established kingdom, Malo is simply seeking security through an alliance with Fritain. Miklock could hardly understand. Even if that's the case for Malo, what about the Noble Alliance? What guarantee do I have that they won't be the first to break the treaty? Jolman promised, in that case, we will eliminate the traitors ourselves. The safety of the kingdom is our top priority. He seemed to be swayed by these words. Finally accepting this matter. The procedure for forming the alliance. Jolman explained, the King of Malo wants to explain the details himself. Then he invited, Malo Castle is not far from here, how about going there right now? William quickly stopped him. You want us to go to your lair voluntarily? Your Majesty, they must be plotting something. Miklock questioned, why is he so eager to meet me? Jolman didn't know this, so he could only bow his head in apology, please forgive me, but only the King of Malo can explain. He still didn't believe this. Your Majesty, this is suspicious. We should avoid worrying agreements. Suddenly, Miklock made a decision. Perhaps, about the King of Malo. Jolman was confused. Yes. He immediately turned away and said, nothing. Then Miklock loudly made a decision, I will go to Malo Castle only with the first knights. Ralph, lead the rest of the knights, finish the conquest, and return to Fritain Castle. William still didn't accept this and tried to stop him. Your Majesty, this may be a trap. He didn't seem to care much. Even so, it doesn't matter. Immediately, Miklock issued a warning, we are enough to wipe out Malo if necessary. These words shocked Jolman. Then smiled helplessly. Let's go, King of Fritain. When Miklock arrived, the King of Malo welcomed him. Welcome, it's an honor to have you visit Malo Castle in person. He was not very interested and coldly replied, I appreciate your hospitality. Then he began to invite, you must be tired from the trip, please stay at the castle as long as you like. Although it is a little humble. But Miklock didn't accept and refused immediately. No, that's not necessary. I will sign the alliance treaty and leave immediately. This startled the King of Malo. Yes, but, you are a distinguished guest, we can't, we have prepared a banquet to honor you. He quickly refused, a simple meal and a place to rest is enough. Furthermore, my knights, except for those close to me, will wait outside the castle. There's no need to have a banquet. He was startled. Outside the castle? But in this cold, they might get sick. Miklock immediately reminded, no need to worry. The cold of Malo will not affect my knights. The King of Malo had no choice but to give in under his oppression. I understand, then please allow me to lead you to your resting place. The maid led Miklock to his room, not forgetting to say, even if the banquet is cancelled, His Majesty wishes to have a meal with you. When it's time for the meal, I will report to you again. Until then, please rest. William smiled smugly, as if I would pretend to be blind and eat with them. I wonder what they're planning to do. Miklock quickly made a decision. I should just go to the meal. End the alliance at dawn, and leave immediately. The more he listened, the more upset he became. Your Majesty, are you really going to have a meal with them? Miklock asked in confusion, why not? If I'm right, they won't do anything to the food. William couldn't help but wonder, and what do you guess? He requested, keep it carefully. He began to say, well, demons are still demons, after all. Miklock wondered, what do you mean? William wanted to enlighten him. Your Majesty, can't you feel it? Their king, their presence, it's like hypnosis. These words really made him think. I think. He thought he was thinking about something important, but Miklock remembered Leah. I was very surprised because they all have golden blonde hair, just like Leah. In Fritain, only Leah has that hair color, while here it's very common. William was speechless. As expected. At this time, he arrived at the place for eating with the King of Malo. As soon as he saw Miklock, he was extremely excited. King of Fritain, you've arrived. The King of Malo kept flattering, although this is just a humble meal, we are honored to sit down and eat with Fritain. He didn't want to say much, so he reminded. Enough with the greetings, let's sit down. His face suddenly revealed a longing expression. Yes, I understand. Then the King of Malo said, to help the King of Fritain entertain himself, I have invited another guest. Miklock was confused. A guest? Before he could finish speaking, the King of Malo loudly introduced, may I introduce, Princess Shane. As soon as she appeared, Shane smiled and greeted, it is an honor to meet the King of Fritain. She slowly walked over. But Miklock didn't care and turned away. Then Shane came to Miklock's side and introduced herself, I am Princess Shane of the Kingdom of Malo. Shane is my name. While saying this, she showed off her most seductive appearance. But when she finished greeting him, she still didn't see any reaction from Miklock, so she looked at the King of Malo with confusion. Seeing the overly silent atmosphere, Shane immediately cleared her throat, ahem, which startled him. Then he remembered that he had to step down. Ah, Your Majesty of Fritain, I just remembered something urgent, please have a meal with Princess Shane first. Miklock wanted to stop him. Well, but... Shane interrupted, Your Majesty. I don't know, do you like wine? Shane smiled brightly and introduced, this is a precious wine of our kingdom, which has been brewed since before Malo was established. But Miklock said, my wife likes it even more than I do. These words were like a stone pressing down on Shane's head, making her tired. Ah, the Queen. He didn't want to continue talking to Shane, so he stood up and suggested, let's have a meal after the King of Malo finishes his work. She quickly stood up to stop him. Wait a moment, what I mean is. So your highness also likes wine. I've heard about your marriage too. I have something to say about her. Shall we discuss that before the meal? Hearing these words from Shane made Miklock sigh in frustration. When she sat down, she poured wine into the glass, still very confident. I am Shane, the most beautiful woman in Malo. After taking a sip, Shane tried to show off her most seductive appearance. This wine has a wonderful taste. No man can resist this charm. But Miklock on this side was eating and drinking like a machine, not paying attention to the things around him. Making her furious, she clenched the glass in her hand. At least the resistance should disappear. At first, I agreed only because father kept begging me. I thought that I could also establish an alliance marriage. Shane tried to force a smile. Ho ho ho, but she still couldn't understand in her heart, how dare he not react to my beauty. If she had known this in advance, at that time, the King of Malo was crying and begging, Shane, have dinner with the King of Fritain, but she didn't accept. Why me? Why not one of the distant relatives? He quickly replied, they are all men who can inherit the throne. But you, my beautiful daughter, through marriage, you can. These words made Shane think for a long time. Miklock had finished eating and put the spoon down. Then began to ask, so, what do you want to say about Leah? Shane was still in contemplation and was startled to see that he had finished eating. He's finished eating already? Shane stroked her golden hair and asked, I heard that Her Highness, the Queen of Fritain, also has golden hair like me. Miklock confirmed, that's right. Hearing this, she began to ramble, of course, I don't dare to compare myself with the noble queen, but platinum blonde hair is also quite famous in Malo. These words really made him helpless. I know. Shane currently didn't know what else to say with this awkward atmosphere and could only curse silently, how troublesome. Suddenly, she was stunned. Then began a new conversation, perhaps if I show you an example, then you can compare it yourself. Miklock still didn't want to talk to Shane, compare what? When he looked up, he suddenly paused. Suddenly, he saw Shane transform into Leah's face, smiling and asking, so, what do you think, are you satisfied with me? She slowly approached, do you want to take a closer look? Shane was secretly smug. Do you think I can't handle an alliance marriage? At this time, Shane's eyes gradually became seductive, I may not have outstanding talent. But I am definitely worthy to be by your side, and I always get what I want. Seeing this scene, Miklock immediately criticized, these cheap tricks. He couldn't bear it anymore and angrily called out, William. At this time, William, who was called, quickly appeared, yes, your majesty. Miklock's face was gloomy as he ordered, bring the King of Malo here immediately. As soon as the king of Malo appeared, he knelt down and begged for forgiveness. "Oh, great king of Fritain, please forgive this rudeness." Seeing the scene before her, Shane was extremely shocked. Then she cried and blamed everything on her. "I tried my best to stop her, but she insisted on meeting your majesty alone to discuss the alliance marriage." Shane couldn't help but come closer and whisper, "Wait, father, you have to stand on my side." He was still making excuses to escape blame. "I believe she did that only with the intention of protecting the people. If my many untalented daughters have offended or been harmed in any way, then please forgive them." William sighed in relief. "Just as I thought, she's not the queen." After speaking for a while, the king of Malo made a suggestion. "Everything may have come to this point, but why not take this opportunity to keep my daughter by your majesty's side and strengthen the relationship between the two kingdoms? In this way, the future of both countries will—" Miklock quickly interrupted. "Peace between the two kingdoms will last forever, as long as the treaty is maintained." The king of Malo still wanted to marry his daughter to Miklock, but isn't this how most human kings expand their territory? He quickly rejected that suggestion. "I don't even have enough time to love my only queen." He still wanted to say more, but Miklock didn't allow it, and at some point, "My mother's home, the kingdom of Samal. It seems you haven't heard this story yet." Upon hearing this, the king of Malo's attitude immediately fell in fear. Finally, the entire space became silent. Miklock took the initiative to stand up and request, "The sun has risen, let's set off immediately after signing the peace treaty." Before that, he didn't forget to remind, "We are very willing to receive tribute from the kingdom of Malo, however, she should also pay the price for insulting my queen and making me angry, right?" Shane was currently gagged and lying on the ground in a bad mood. Angry? Miklock immediately made a condition: to apologize for this rudeness, send an additional 3,000 tons of heated magic stones, right? This condition shocked the king of Malo. What? William was also frustrated after hearing this condition. That's enough to drain 2 or minds. Is he going to burn the queen alive? Miklock said, "What's wrong? Can't you do it?" The king of Malo became flustered. No, it's just. For now, we will send 1,000 tons before the end of this month." In the Haroon Empire, Count Stone, at this time, the count called, "Robbie." Then he gave a somber order: "Pack your bags and set off for Fritain immediately." Robbie couldn't understand. "What, why do I suddenly have to go to Fritain?" The count let him go smoothly. "Go to see Leah, you must miss her a lot, right?" Robbie became embarrassed. "But, father, you never liked me being close to Leah." Suddenly, the count smirked. Then he said, "This is a royal decree, His Majesty even prepared a carriage and travel expenses for you." Robbie was really shocked by this information. "What?" The count said, "Well, after so many years of befriending Marquis Eskel, I will finally receive the rewards of my efforts. I once thought the friendship between you and her was useless, but now, it has become a great opportunity." He heard this and quickly stopped him. "Wait, it's not even Marquis Eskel. So why am I the one being sent?" The count didn't seem to be able to guess this either. "I don't know the details either. Maybe His Majesty feels sorry for a girl who almost became the queen." Robbie still tried to resist. "If so, he can send a royal envoy instead of me." The count didn't want to say much more to him. "Oh, don't ask any more, this is a royal decree. Just follow it." Then he took out a letter. "Here, His Majesty personally wrote a letter to you. I will also send a private letter to Fritain, so set off immediately." Robbie took the letter back to his room to read. It requested, "Closely monitor Leah Eskel, and if there is anything unusual, immediately return to report." After reading, Robbie was shocked. He couldn't understand. Unusual? Impossible. I understand Leah better than anyone. How can she endure it? Isn't she crying in pain every day? Of course. The king of Fritain is clearly a barbarian. There's no way such a person can make Leah happy. Thinking of this, Robbie immediately resolved, "I must go to Fritain as soon as possible." Wait. She must be enduring alone in a foreign land. I should bring her something to comfort her, maybe some of her favorite books. Robbie started searching. I hid Leah's things under the bed so father wouldn't find them. As soon as he opened it, a cloud of dust quickly attacked, causing Robbie to cough nonstop. Cough, I told them not to clean. Now it's full of dust. Suddenly, Robbie noticed something unexpected. Huh? That box. Robbie quickly opened the box. Inside were letters. He was a little puzzled. Are these the letters Leah wrote to me when I was studying at the academy? So they were here. I hid them to avoid father's pursuit, but now I found them here. Reading those letters made Robbie feel warm. Then he began to recall the day he entered the academy. Welcome everyone to the prestigious National Academy. Before entering the academy, Robbie didn't forget to look back to search for Leah's figure in the crowd. Leah, aren't you coming? Seeing that she didn't appear made him frustrated. How boring. He lowered his head and entered the academy. Then Robbie unexpectedly looked up. Huh? Then he saw Leah holding a bouquet of flowers standing next to the school, which excited him. Leah, you really came? He anxiously ran over to ask. Why did you come here but didn't go inside and instead stood outside like this? As soon as he arrived, Leah handed the bouquet of flowers in her hand to Robbie. This action startled him. Flowers? Robbie was so moved that he teared up. Leah, you prepared this for me? Thank you so much. But she kept holding the bouquet, preventing him from hugging it, so he reminded, Leah, if you let go, I can take it. Leah, suddenly there was something very uncomfortable on her face. Then Leah threw the bouquet straight away, causing him to fall hard to the ground. Ouch. Robbie looked up with a confused expression. Huh? Then he saw her crying appearance, which made him confused. Leah. Leah couldn't hold back and cried loudly, which made Robbie very embarrassed. Leah. He quickly pulled her away, let's go over here first. Then the two arrived at a deserted place with no one around. Robbie was now worried and asked, are you calmer now? Then can you tell me the reason why you're crying? Leah narrowed her eyes when asked. Then answered, the problem is, I don't want you to go to the academy. These words really shocked Robbie. What? At this time, she revealed the real reason. I come to every lesson with you, but if you go to the academy, I won't be able to meet Teacher Palette anymore. He's the perfect husband I've been looking for. Finally, he understood the reason with frustration. So that's it. Leah added, also. She suddenly gritted her teeth uncomfortably. Then she said the real reason, if you go to the academy, we will never see each other again. You know my father won't let me go, so there's no other way, but... Robbie was really surprised and called, Leah. She couldn't hold back her tears anymore and burst into tears. If you make new friends at the academy, then I'm afraid you'll forget me. These words moved Robbie. He quickly comforted, don't worry, Leah, I will come back to Haroon every month. Leah was surprised. What? How can that be? Robbie said, they said we are allowed to go out on weekends, maybe not every week, but maybe every month. And when I come to the Marquis mansion, I will tell you what I've learned at the academy. I will write everything down and tell you everything. So. Hearing these words made Leah couldn't help but laugh. Then she wondered, will you dress like Teacher Palette all the time? Right? Robbie quickly paused and answered awkwardly, that. Finally, the two made a promise. Okay, promise me, Teacher Robbie. Being called teacher made him awkward. Leah. At that time, I promised to visit her every month, but Leah sent me letters every week. Thanks to that, I always knew what she was doing. Actually, I replied often because she was curious about the academy. Back then, we knew everything about each other. But now. Robbie put all the letters on the table. Extremely puzzled. Why doesn't she write to me anymore? We have always written letters to each other whenever we were apart. We almost spent our lives exchanging letters. There's no way Leah could forget, impossible. Robbie also had a rich imagination that Miklock would not allow Leah to contact the outside world anymore. From now on, all external contact will be cut off. At that time, she could only submit. Yes, Your Majesty. He speculated, did the King of Fritain prevent her from sending letters? Remembering when Robbie was strangled by Miklock, he felt it made sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Just based on his style back then, he was really a tyrannical jerk. Robbie gritted his teeth and blamed himself. If I had known this would happen, I would have taken Leah with me. No, it's not too late now. He closed the box. Then he resolved, if she's not happy, even if it's the King of Fritain or even the Emperor, I won't sit still. Seeing Robbie leave, Hans called in confusion, Sir, but he only ordered, Hans, prepare the carriage. We're going to Fritain right away. Wait for me, Leah, I'm coming, soon. At this time, at the palace. Leah was very shocked. What, letters from Stone Manor? Finally, she remembered that she hadn't written a letter to Robbie yet. Ah, right, I should have replied to Robbie, but I completely forgot. She was so frustrated that she wanted to melt away. He must have waited tiredly and sent it first. Is he angry? At this time, Millie brought the letter. Here, Your Highness. Then reported, it's not a letter from young Master Robbie, it's a letter from Count Stone. Leah was a little startled when she heard that. What? Why would the Count write to me? When she opened the letter to read, Leah called, Millie. Then she informed her, Millie, Robbie is coming to Fritton to see me. Millie was really surprised when she heard this. Huh, young Master Robbie? That's great, but at this time, Millie saw that Leah's expression was not good, so she worried. Wait, miss, are you not happy? She looked up hesitantly. It's just. In order to come here, Robbie needs Count Stone's permission. How did he do that? Count Stone has never liked me being close to Robbie. Millie also agreed with that. That's true, Count Stone wants young Master Robbie to be close to Miss Haley instead. Well, I guess Robbie really wants to see the Queen, so he must have found a way. Leah also hoped, yes, maybe that's it. At this time, someone entered the room and spoke up, isn't this good news? As soon as she saw him, Leah quickly spoke up, you're later than usual today, Duke Zenon. Duke Zenon, the minister of Fritton, smiled and replied, I was late because I had to collect the letters for Her Majesty the Queen. This letter must make you happy. Leah was a little confused when she heard that. Huh, what is it? Zenon quickly informed, this is news from the commander of the rear guard. As soon as she heard this, the outer layer of the letter was torn apart by Leah. He smiled and reported the situation, the conquest of monsters is going very smoothly, and they will return a month earlier than expected. The rear guard has set off to return to Fritton Palace. However, His Majesty must stop at Malo Castle for diplomatic issues. Leah didn't seem to hear Zenon and excitedly announced, Millie, His Majesty will be back in 4 days. Millie was also surprised and exclaimed, oh my god. Leah quickly became crazy. Oh no, just thinking about his face is enough to make me happy. Hurry up, prepare a rose petal bath and cucumber mask, my skin condition has been so bad lately. That's urgent. Zenon smiled and came closer to call, Your Majesty. She realized that he was still standing here. I was just too happy, so. Zenon immediately reminded, His Majesty Miklock is coming back soon, shouldn't you start preparing for these 4 days? Leah was confused. Prepare what? Seeing Leah standing on the table talking, Millie quickly pulled her down, get down. Finally, Leah realized, a welcome party. She quickly ordered Millie, quickly call the chief butler here. Yes. Then Leah quickly gave more instructions, the banquet will be held with the Queen's royal budget, but I need more funds to decorate the castle. Call the head chef too. Millie quickly ran off to do it. Yes, Your Highness. Just thinking about the party made Leah very excited. I will make this banquet the most magnificent party ever, the knights should also enjoy it. She suddenly realized, wait, the knights too? Leah turned back to call, Duke Zenon. He smiled and replied, yes, Your Highness. Then she wanted to tell Zenon her idea. It's a bit risky with only 4 days left, but would you like to hear a great idea? And hello, this is Millie. It has been 2 days since we started preparing for the banquet, everyone is so busy that they don't even have time to nap. And the busiest person among us is the head chef. Millie was extremely excited after smelling the aroma. Let's go see how he's doing, and why is the head chef the busiest? Then we must go back 2 days ago. Millie was very surprised by the information, Your Highness wants to invite the families of the knights? Leah affirmed that. That's right, family is very important to everyone, His Majesty and I are also a family now. These words really moved Zenon to tears. She began to dream of a bright future. I saw Duke Zenon walking with his family the other day, he looked very happy, the knights must miss their families very much too. Moreover, most of the knights are commoners, their families have never had the opportunity to set foot in Fritton Palace, so this is the perfect opportunity to invite them. Hearing this, Millie's eyes quickly lit up. Oh. So, the total number of knights is… that's right, now, the head chef has to prepare food for thousands of people in just 4 days. That's a great idea, but, because of that, everyone is busy day and night. But what can we do? We must try our best for the people who are about to return safely. Millie burst open the kitchen door and shouted, Head chef, Millie is here to help. As soon as she arrived, she saw the head chef covered in wine and screamed. The head chef was taken to the sick room. Which worried Leah, Millie, what's wrong? Didn't we hire enough assistant chefs? She quickly replied, we did. But it seems the head chef doesn't trust them to do the work, after all, he is a perfectionist. Even lying on the bed, the head chef is still in the mood to work. Hand it to me, this, what do you call it, cooking? This really made her helpless. Alright, I understand, Millie, continue to help everyone finish the rest of the work. Yes. At this time, she looked at the head chef. Then sat down next to him, worried about how to solve the situation. What should I do? There is less than a day left, and I can't find a new head chef now. While thinking, Leah remembered something. Suddenly, the necklace around Leah's neck lit up, which surprised her. Oh, the necklace, I got it in the alley. I've been wearing it all along because it makes me feel calm. But what is this warm feeling? When looking at the necklace. Then she noticed the head chef. Then a feeling rose in her heart. Heh. Leah slowly touched the head chef. Suddenly, I feel like I can heal him. Immediately, a golden light shone out. The head chef also quickly opened his eyes with a high spirit. Then he jumped up excitedly. UWOA, I overslept. The head chef looked over confused. Your Highness, what are you doing here? Leah was asked and startled, hesitating. I just. The head chef's eyes lit up and asked, wait, what time is it now? As soon as he saw the time, the head chef panicked. No way, it's that late already? There are still too many things to prepare. Those guys must have messed up the dishes again. Your Highness, please forgive me. Seeing the head chef running away, Leah wanted to stop him, but couldn't. Wait, but. Currently, she was the only one left in the room, looking blankly. Then looking at her hand. Then she clenched her hands, remembering, just now. What did I do? Anyway, after so much difficulty. Thanks to the joint efforts of everyone in the castle. And the contribution of the head chef. We prepared everything in just 4 days. The day the Friton army returned. When the army arrived in front of the city gate, Millie excitedly pointed down. Your Highness, look, over there, that's the flag of the vanguard. At this time, a knight reported, Your Majesty, Friton Castle can be seen. Hearing this, Miklok thought, I have returned. As the army marched back, the people kept cheering, His Majesty Miklok 10,000 years, Friton 10,000 years. Your Majesty, please look over here. As soon as he returned, Miklok had an indescribable feeling rising in his heart. I have fought in countless battles and conquests since ascending the throne. But today's return brings a different feeling. Why is that? Suddenly, his eyes widened. When looking towards the castle. When seeing Leah's expectant eyes, he realized, that's right. Leah, because my queen is here. During that time, she jumped from above into Miklok's arms and called, Mick. She was very worried and kept asking with concern, Are you not injured anywhere? He affirmed, I'm fine. Hearing this, Leah couldn't help but smile and exclaim, That's so lucky, I missed this face so much. These words made Miklok a little sad. So, she really only likes my face? But in the end, he didn't care anymore. Oh well, that's good too. Miklok leaned into Leah's arms and said, I have protected my face very carefully. Hearing this, Leah couldn't help but praise, very good. The two knights in the back were shocked to see this scene. I never thought I would see His Majesty in this appearance. The castle looks different, it must be thanks to Her Highness. At this time, those two knights looked over. What's wrong? The knights immediately called out loudly, Dad. Hearing this, Miklok also quickly looked over. Then he saw the other knights reuniting with their relatives and loved ones. My dear, what are you doing here? Are you surprised? Are you not injured anywhere? Dad, carry me on your shoulders. Miklok was very surprised. They are. At this time, Leah quickly explained, well, this is not a normal ceremony, but I thought it would be good if the knights could also meet their families. Their families must have missed their children and husbands who went to battle. Then she looked at Miklok with worried eyes. Like this, is it okay? I invited all of them already, there's no way to take it back now. He didn't blame her, but patted her head with gratitude. Thank you. This made Leah shyly request everyone, alright, everyone, take a clean bath and come to the banquet hall. William also looked over at this time. Then he noticed Ralph. Then he approached and asked, Ralph, are you looking for your family? Being asked like this startled him. Then he turned back and stammered, well. Ralph quickly hid it and went ahead, no, never mind, they're over there, I'll go first, Captain. At this time, he approached Millie and hesitantly called, Hey, Millie. But she was busy, so she refused, I'm busy, let's talk later. Hearing this, Ralph quickly agreed, okay. William's mood instantly turned cold when he saw that scene. When the party started, Leah was eating when she heard the information and was startled. What, His Majesty has left the banquet hall already? Colin bowed and reported, Yes, while Your Highness was checking the banquet, he told everyone to feel free and quietly left. She really couldn't understand. But the main course hasn't been served yet. Where is His Majesty now? He quickly replied, he is taking a bath. When Miklok arrived, he was immediately pulled away, so Leah realized in confusion that it was because of her. He hasn't taken a bath yet? Colin affirmed, yes, it seems so. Leah started thinking for a moment. then casually made a request, then take me there. This bold suggestion startled him. What? Colin really couldn't believe it. Your Highness, really? Yes, this way. But Leah didn't really think much about it, she just wanted to prepare food for Mick as soon as he finishes. At Micklock's room, Leah walked up and knocked on the door. Then peeked inside. Then suddenly Micklock's voice rang out, startling her, so you are the one who sneaked in here quietly. She awkwardly wanted to explain. But Micklock turned to remind, did you forget that I'm not wearing anything? Being told this made her stammer. This time I knocked on the door, I didn't sneak a peek like last time, oh no, wait, I didn't sneak a peek last time either. He wondered, last time? As soon as she saw Micklock's great body, Leah drooled but quickly turned away. Then quickly informed, the main course is about to be served. So hurry up and finish your bath. Suddenly, Micklock raised his hand. Come to think of it. Before, you had a scratch on your cheek. While saying this, he touched her cheek affectionately. Which startled Leah. Micklock was really curious, but didn't know when it had disappeared. Even if she applied medicine, it wouldn't heal that quickly. Leah remembered being curious at the time, did that happen? Maybe, Micklock spoke up, by chance. You have some kind of ability, don't you? Being asked and touched like this startled Leah. Well, actually. Because of a slip, Leah fell hard into the water, but luckily Micklock caught her. He caressed Leah's face and quickly made an assessment, so. It seems you really possess a special power. Leah quickly denied that. No, At this time, Micklock suddenly stroked Leah's hair, you said the main course is about to be served. Which made Leah shy. He quickly became curious. Could it be, this is a dish prepared specifically for me? Micklock's words made Leah's face turn red. Yes. While they were happy, a loud noise rang out from outside. Which startled Colin and made him scold, you rude thing, what do you think you're doing? The male servant tried to explain, I just wanted to bring in a towel. He still stopped him from entering. You can't come in now, this is a historical moment for the Fritten Empire. The noise outside shattered the atmosphere, which made Micklock extremely uncomfortable. Leah could only smile helplessly, At this time, she stood up and spoke formally, unfortunately, the party I mentioned is for everyone. But if you promise to come to the party soon and enjoy it. After saying that, Leah suddenly turned back. Then she said shyly, I will save a special dessert just for you, Mick. These words quickly moved Micklock. He immediately replied, I will attend soon. In the banquet hall, everyone was very lively. Millie was serving water when Xenon came over to suggest, Millie, thank you for helping to prepare for the party, you should rest too. Hearing this made her happy. Oh, thank you very much. After being free, Millie left the banquet hall, Ralph followed. Calling her back, Millie. She turned around when called. Millie immediately recognized, Sir Ralph. He greeted shyly. Then Millie kept asking with concern, now that I think about it, we haven't had a chance to talk before. Do you like this banquet? Ralph quickly replied, yes, I think so. She felt it was a bit late, so she advised, the other knights and their families have already returned to their rooms, you should go back too, Sir Ralph. But he suddenly stopped her. Wait, Millie. Seeing that Ralph had something to say to her, Millie also lingered. What's wrong? He scratched his head shyly. I have this for you. Then he tremblingly said, thanks to the scarf you gave me for good luck, I was able to return safely, so I want to thank you. Ralph gave her a thank you gift. Here, don't refuse, please accept it. Millie also happily opened the gift to see what it was. Oh, what is this? He was also very thoughtful to give her this gift. It's a shawl, Fritten is much colder than where you used to live. After saying that, Ralph was a little embarrassed. If you don't like it. But Millie praised, it's so beautiful, I've never received a gift like this before. Immediately, Millie put on the scarf and asked, how does it look, is it okay? This made Ralph's heart flutter again. Then he immediately praised, yes, it suits you very well. William was also hiding in the back, listening to the entire conversation. Suddenly, Ralph called out again. Millie, he looked at the gift he had prepared in his hand and felt a little ashamed, I should go back. At this time, Ralph suggested, will you give me another scarf on the next expedition? William heard this question and bumped hard into the door. Then he fell to the ground, leaving both of them speechless. Both wondered and called, Sir William. Because he was too humiliated, he immediately ran away, which made Millie confused. Seeing him run away so quickly made Millie also become rushed. Sir Ralph, thank you very much for the gift, I will use it well, I have urgent business to take care of. So I'll go first. Suddenly, she had urgent business, which made Ralph even more confused. Huh. Seeing Millie run away, he wanted to stop her. Wait. Then he froze. Ah. Realizing that Millie asked about William's whereabouts at that time, by the way, do you know where Sir William is? Did he go out to do something? I don't see him around here, ah. Ralph smiled shyly, I knew from the beginning that it wasn't for me. Right, everything is over, huh? From the beginning, it was just a joke, but why? Ralph was currently very heartbroken because he had just fallen in love. Damn it. Millie was chasing William, constantly calling, Sir William, Sir William. William, seeing her keep chasing him made William embarrassed. Oh my god, why are you chasing me? Millie quickly explained, well, you suddenly ran away, so that's why I'm doing this. But when he noticed the scarf draped on her, his mood quickly fell and he denied it. What running away, it's just that I'm a little tired, so I'm returning to my room. Millie was now frustrated. Come on, both now and before the previous expedition, Sir William, every time I try to find you, I can't find you anywhere. William was a little surprised to hear that. Wait, before the expedition too? What do you mean before the expedition? She was asked so suddenly, so she hesitated. Well. Millie didn't dare to look William straight in the face and glanced away. It means, Then she began to explain, it's nothing special, it's just that you mentioned it before, Sir William, that in Britain, there is a custom of knitting scarves for good luck. And your safety also means that His Majesty will be safe, so I wanted to give you a scarf, but I didn't see you at that time, so I gave it to Sir Ralph. After understanding everything, William immediately became ashamed. Is that so? Millie confirmed that. That's right, anyway. I'm glad that you have returned safely. Seeing her expression made William's heart waver. You. But he was still very tongue-tied and said, do you really think that a flimsy scarf is enough to keep you warm in the cold weather in Britain? Hey, take this instead. After saying that, he threw something at Millie, which made her confused. What is it? As soon as she poured it out, she was really shocked. Wait, this is magic stone? Millie was so shocked that she didn't want to accept it. No way, this is terribly expensive, don't tell me that. William quickly denied it. What, no, it's not like that. She quickly concluded, you stole it from the royal treasury, didn't you? He was about to say, it's from the treasury, wait. Hearing this, Millie ran away in fear. No way, I have to report you, Your Highness. But William quickly chased after her, trying to explain, wait, stop, it's not what you think. A dark energy appeared in a room. That startled Xenon and made him shout, no, wait, what is this? Colin stood beside him and quickly signaled to lower his voice. Shoo. He immediately reminded, if you think you can survive being caught in the middle, then go ahead. Xenon began to count, 100, 200, 300. This number shattered his glasses. Then he couldn't understand. I give up, how did everything turn out like this? Back to the present, Leah's complexion was very pale and she pursed her lips. Looking at Miklock sitting in the chair. The confrontation between the two surprised Xenon. Are those two really having a conflict? Back to 2 hours ago when the two were walking, Miklock couldn't help but exclaim, so many things have changed. Hearing this, Leah smiled shyly, I don't know if I'm meddling in everything too much. Miklock didn't think so, on the contrary, he was very satisfied, not at all. As the Queen of Britain, frankly speaking, you have done what is necessary. That really reassured her somewhat. Then I'm less worried. Actually, everything here is quite boring, it's hard to believe that this is a royal palace. Haha, I understand, you're busy with the expedition campaign, right, I'll try my best to help you, so let's work hard together. While Leah was talking, Miklock paid attention to another point. So she quickly called back, Mick. He immediately came to his senses and replied, yes, let's work hard together. Then Leah asked about something else, while we're at it, Mick, may I ask you who has been managing the palace's finances until now? Because I'm about to become your partner. So I need to know this too. He was asked and became flustered. Finances, Then he turned away and replied, the minister manages most of it. Leah was quickly stunned. What? Finally, her eyes quickly became scary. So until now, you've always been doing everything yourself? Miklock still didn't feel that he was wrong. Why not? And back to the present, Xenon observed with his broken glasses. Then he asked the question, are they still arguing? Colin also affirmed that. It seems, they're still angry with each other. Miklok still tried to explain everything. I've tried my best, but important things outside can't be ignored. However, Leah still couldn't accept this. Can't? Even if you can, it's not right. How can the ruler of a kingdom throw all of their responsibilities to the minister? Moreover, you definitely have to worry about the national defense budget first, but you're neglecting domestic issues? Miklok tried to explain, also mentioning the monster expedition management, and the threat of the Mayan tribe's invasion. The national defense budget is urgent, so I only trust the minister to be the expert to handle domestic affairs. Xenon on this side was frustrated and felt hungry. I'm so hungry, I wonder what we're eating for lunch. Colin was also waiting expectantly. Then Leah quickly turned away, not accepting what Miklok did. But no matter how professional he is, the minister can't handle everything himself. These words really moved Xenon to no end. Oh, Her Majesty the Queen. Then she couldn't help but conclude, it's hard to blame why you look so haggard, it's because of you, Mick. These words shocked Xenon. Then he cried, but was also comforted by Colin. He wanted to say something more, it's because, but Leah loudly interrupted, more importantly. She repeated once again, Your Majesty, because you are, the ruler of Fritain, you are forced to look further into internal issues. Finally, Miklok had to admit his mistake. Yes, failing to look further into the palace is my fault, that's for sure. So from now on. Now that I have the queen by my side, why don't we handle it together? The suggestion along with that handsome face made Leah waver. Finally, she shyly turned away, precisely, that's what I was trying to say. Leah urged herself, I can't look at that charming face. Seeing the two reconcile like this made Xenon so angry that he wanted to rush up, but Colin was beside him and stopped him, please calm down. At this time, Miklok sat down. Then he called, wait. Leah also turned back, wondering, what's wrong? Then he began to read the report. Heated stones are allowed for parties, they all come from the northern palace, right? Leah affirmed, that's right. Then she smiled and explained, heated stones are only usable for about 3 or 4 years, it's a bit wasteful to use them only for parties. At this time, Miklok was really confused. Why did you do that? Leah still didn't understand anything. What do you mean? Miklok quickly informed, the heated stones stored in the northern palace are all for you. I don't remember telling you to take them and use them. Although she was a little touched, Leah still rebutted, but even if they don't mean anything to me, I should be the only one to decide how to use them, right? I thought that, because heated stones aren't very common, it would be best to keep one. Miklok said, there's no need. Leah still didn't understand anything. Why? He quickly and eloquently said, whether it's heated stones or the budget, Fritain is strong enough not to have to worry about such trivial matters. Which means there's no need to cut spending when it comes to spending on the queen. If you've seen the financial records, you should already know. If that's a habit, it must be corrected. Leah couldn't understand at all. A habit? Then Miklok showed his understanding of Leah's personality. There's no need to hide it, Leah, I know how frugal you are. Before that, she had requested Colin, you get rid of most of the heated stones while I'm not here, right? He also did as she said, yes, according to the queen's orders. I kept what was needed to maintain a certain temperature and returned most of the royal treasures. Miklok said again, the stones with warming energy were also cut off. Along with the things needed to maintain a certain temperature. Especially. I can tell that just from your room at the Marquis' mansion. It's not that it's a bad habit, but as the Queen of Fritain, you don't have to do that anymore. During this time, you must show all the honors to befit a queen. Hearing this, Leah suddenly spoke up. I didn't realize that I have that kind of habit. Saying this, Leah couldn't help but tear up. Seeing this scene, he quickly got up, but Leah said, if I've lived in such dire conditions, then I think it's natural that I have habits that are not suitable for a queen. Miklok quickly denied, Leah, that's not what I meant. But Leah still didn't listen. Your Majesty is right, as the Queen of Fritain, I have habits that need to be corrected. I'm very tired, I'm going inside to rest first. Saying this, Leah quickly left, ignoring Miklok. Seeing her leave like that with tears in her eyes, he put on a blank expression. Then Xenon came over and called, Your Majesty. He asked, should I report what you instructed before you left? Miklok remembered what Xenon wanted to say. At that time, he had asked, it's the matter that we have done over the years, so the palace's problems should be easily operated during the expedition, right? He admitted, of course, however, now that Her Majesty the Queen is here, at least give her the authority within the inner palace, right? Finally, Leah made a decision. I understand, while I'm not here, I want you to support the queen as much as possible. Xenon was shocked in his heart, but still obeyed, yes, your majesty. Then he turned away, and if there's anything I need to confirm. At that time, Miklock had asked Leah directly, have you ever been treated unfairly? If so, please tell me. Now she is Leah Fritten, secretly looking into the past of the queen. Miklock couldn't help but feel frustrated after hearing this. So it's true? Okay, do it. Seeing Xenon not doing as he said, Miklock turned back. Wondering, what's wrong? Xenon didn't say much, but reported, it seems that Her Majesty the Queen really had to endure discriminatory treatment at the Uskal Marquis mansion. The Queen's mother passed away since her childhood, not long after, Marquis Uskal adopted her. The exact reason for the adoption decision is still unknown, but it seems that she has been the subject of contempt and oppression many times since then. This marriage, too, is the result of a behind-the-scenes deal between Marquis Uskal and His Majesty the Emperor of their country. Miklock recalled Leah's tearful face at that time. I have habits like that, if I have lived in such difficult conditions. Then I think it's natural that I have habits that are not suitable for a queen. At this time, he realized how excessive he had acted at that time. Damn it. Saying that was really stupid. Suddenly, Miklock noticed something. Unexpectedly, the plan was all of Leah's scribbled drawings of him. Miklock picked up a plan. Then suddenly got up. Running out of the room. He ran so fast that he broke out in a sweat. But suddenly stopped. Standing in front of Leah's room, Miklock became hesitant again. I don't know, how should I talk to her now? What if she gets angrier? But when he thought of Leah's face always bright and smiling, calling Your Majesty, it seemed to give him courage. Finally, Miklock opened the door and asked, Leah, are you asleep? If you're asleep, then I apologize, but if I don't say it now, then I don't think I'll have. While speaking, Miklock became blank. When Leah was lying on the bed, some blood appeared. Seeing her wrist full of blood made Miklock shocked and called, Leah. Standing in front of Leah, he couldn't express his feelings at this time. What is this? Just as he was about to step forward to hug her, his foot hit a wine bottle on the ground. Leah. Finally, Miklock realized, a wine bottle. Leah was lying on the bed, so drunk that she wasn't conscious, constantly talking in her sleep, Mick, I hate you. Knowing that what was on Leah was alcohol, he breathed a sigh of relief. Then he knelt down beside her, touching her hair and calling, Leah. Leah seemed to feel the call and the touch, so she drowsily opened her eyes. As soon as she saw his handsome face, she called confusedly, Mick. Leah involuntarily sat up. Mick. Then in confusion, why is Mick here? Why is Mick here? I told you that I was sleeping, if you keep appearing like this. Not wanting her to move anymore, Miklock grabbed Leah's wrist and called, Leah. Then his voice immediately became affectionate, I came because I have something to say to you. He began to explain, I don't know what kind of person you are. What your childhood was like, or what you like the most. Or even whether your habits are unconscious or for what reason. I never wanted to offend you, I just. Leah was currently very moved by those words. Miklock continued to express, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry. Leah saw this expression on his face. Then she reached out and touched his face, admitting, Mick, I know. Then Leah also honestly told him, actually, my childhood wasn't very fulfilling. Well, I know this sounds contradictory, because I'm the daughter of the Marquis. And, don't you already know what I like the most? As soon as she finished speaking, Leah took the initiative to kiss Miklock on the forehead. Then she admitted, your face. Then she started teasing again, and my habits, That made him embarrassed. That. Then he begged, I'm sorry, please, forget it. Leah didn't seem to care much, whatever, I don't want to torment myself anymore. Saying this, she declared, because I am Leah Fritten. But you must also respect me, okay, let me remind you, I am Leah Fritten. Miklock immediately listened, okay, I understand, from now on, I will. Before he could finish speaking, she pounced into his arms. Hooray. Miklock hugged her tightly to protect her, but was still worried, Leah, are you okay? Suddenly she didn't say anything anymore and took a sigh of relief. Then she begged in a whiny voice, Mick, enough with the complicated things, drink with me, drink with me. Seeing that Miklock didn't accept made Leah frustrated, it's no fun. Suddenly, Miklock's face turned red. Then he mentioned, so, about the snacks. Leah looked over confused. Then he didn't hesitate to repeat, what about the cake you mentioned earlier? At the victory celebration, before leaving the bathroom, Leah had said, I'll save some just for you, Mick. Remembering the words she said at that time also made Leah shy. Then she quickly jumped into bed as if nothing had happened. I'm so dizzy, I'm going to sleep, good night, Mick. Seeing this, Miklock smiled and came up with an idea. Then he jumped right into bed, pressed down on Leah, and teased, like someone said, "I'm not interesting at all. I need to get what you promised." Seeing this expression of his made Leah hesitate. That. On the other side, William appeared, wondering, "I heard you were looking for me." Xenon quickly informed, "There's news from the defense force in the northern Kalen area." Hearing this, he was a little startled. "The Kalen area, what do you mean?" "That's the area closest to the Wind Canyon, where many black dragons reside." Xenon admitted what William was thinking. "Yes, a few days ago, a large fire broke out and completely destroyed a village. It seems that this is the work of a black dragon." Hearing this, he couldn't believe it. "But, this isn't their active season, they shouldn't start until at least another month." He also admitted that. That's exactly the strange point. But there was a witness. William was startled. A witness? At this time, he recounted the details. A boy snuck out to the hill late at night, without his parents knowing, and luckily escaped. According to the boy, the sky suddenly turned red, and when the boy looked down at the village, a huge monster was spewing fire, engulfing the village in flames. That creature has a black body, with huge wings. That beast has a long tail that looks like a saw. Hearing this description, William was sure it was a black dragon. Xenon leaned on the table and began to make an assessment. The extent of the damage is also worth mentioning. If this was a normal season for them, they wouldn't have stopped at just one village. It seems they attacked recklessly while in an abnormal state. Hearing this, William still had a question he couldn't understand, but why? Suddenly, he became somber and spoke up. "More importantly, isn't there another problem that needs to be solved?" Suddenly, Xenon adjusted his glasses. Seeing this, William was also blank. Then the atmosphere of both became silent. He broke out in a cold sweat, not wanting to go to Miklock to report. "Why don't you report to His Majesty yourself?" Xenon didn't accept that. "Absurd, you, as my close aide, should report that." But William smiled wryly and gave a reason. "I'm only making that suggestion because you've already received the letter and report. This will ensure clearer transmission of information." Right now, although he said that, he was very panicked in his heart. His Majesty is in a peaceful state after the storm, simply put, is in a sweet emotional phase. Xenon also smiled wryly and gave a reason. The letter and report, I'll leave it to you. We may have to set off immediately, so it's more reasonable to let you be in charge of the discussions. If I interfere and report on the deployment of troops now," both said in unison, "then the only ending will be death." Miklock was sleeping when the light shone in, waking him up. Suddenly, a trembling voice called out from outside, "Your Majesty, I have an urgent matter to report." He asked back, "What is it?" After that, he also heard the whole situation. "So, the black dragons have started moving earlier than usual and attacked a village in the Kalen region, and you're saying this may not be the end?" William stammered, "Yes, that's right." Suddenly, Miklock slammed his hand on the table, which terrified both him and Xenon. He was very frustrated and sighed, then reminded, "Be more careful, will you?" These words made William's little heart flutter. Miklock also thought about this situation. Black dragons, Black dragons reside in the Wind Canyon, which is far away in the north of Fritton. The strongest beasts when the temperature drops below -40°C. If they develop completely in the harsh cold, then for about 2 months, they will not be affected by the temperature, making it extremely difficult to deal with them. During that time, even the mighty army of Fritton must tremble before their ferocity. So if we don't block the entrance to the Wind Canyon, the ferocious dark dragons will pour down to the south, cross Fritton, and devastate all the way to the Haroon Empire. Thinking of this, he was a little confused, but currently, the temperature hasn't dropped below -20°C yet. There's no way they could have fully developed. But still, they crawled out and attacked a village. That means there's another reason behind this, right? After that, William added, "After burning the village, they seem to be looking for something." Miklock paused after hearing this. Then wondered, "Looking for something?" He affirmed, "That's right, even the way it moved was unusual. If we don't stop it now, not only will there be casualties, but it could also cause diplomatic problems." Hearing this, Miklock kept tapping on the table, deep in thought. This made him pay attention. That's right, Fritton built its foundation quickly by receiving tribute from other continents in exchange for controlling the black dragons. Finally, Miklock clenched his hand and made a decision. Then asked, "How many spears and arrows made of yellow pine wood are currently in the warehouse?" William quickly informed, "We still have enough reserves." Hearing this, he happily exclaimed, "Is that so? That's great." Immediately, Miklock gave the order, "Will, prepare the first night squad. They have just completed the destruction of the demons, so check their condition and select those who are strong enough to go into battle." William quickly received the order, "Yes, Your Majesty, when will we depart?" He heard this. Then he quickly gave the time. Tonight, I will personally lead this mission. William couldn't help but be surprised after hearing this. He bowed and received the order. Understood, I will follow the instructions. On Leah's side, she was putting on makeup. The maid combed her hair and asked for her opinion. Do you want to put your hair up or leave it down? Leah quickly chose, leave it down. After finishing Leah's makeup, the maid praised, Your Highness, your fair skin stands out so beautifully. You look so charming like that. This praise made Leah shy, but still very grateful, thank you. Before that, William had run to call Leah, Your Highness, William. Seeing him appear made her confused. What just happened? His Majesty left in a hurry. William frowned and stammered, that. Seeing that expression made Leah panic. William. After knowing that Miklock was about to leave again, Leah seemed very sad. Mick only returned to the palace 4 days ago. She clenched her dress, not understanding, why is this happening? Suddenly, Millie appeared and called, Your Highness, Millie. She handed a handkerchief to Leah and urged, Hurry up, you should go now. Seeing the handkerchief in her hand, she was startled and realized, this is. Millie quickly reminded, You must give His Majesty a handkerchief to wish him a safe return. Hearing this, Leah couldn't help but clench the handkerchief, hoping. That afternoon, when the army was about to set off, Leah quickly appeared to see them off. She looked down from above. Miklock seemed to have noticed her appearance. So he quickly approached, Leah. She was really very sad, Mick, Seeing that expression of Leah, Miklock couldn't help but come closer and praise, You look beautiful, are you going to stop me from leaving again today? She quickly denied it. I know I can't. Leah couldn't help but hug Miklock tightly, making his heart flutter with an indescribable feeling, Miklock was about to say something, Leah, but she let go and said, Done. Leah smiled happily and instructed, Wear this scarf and you're not allowed to get hurt with the scarf, okay? At this time, he was stunned and realized. Huh. Then he was shocked and asked again, You're really telling me to just go like this and return safely? Leah affirmed, Of course. Ralph saw the two being so affectionate and was very happy. Suddenly, a voice rang out from behind, Sir Ralph. He thought it was Millie calling, so he turned around, Millie, but unexpectedly it was a man with passionate feelings, hoping, You must accept this scarf. The brown-haired knight couldn't help but burst out laughing and teased, Look at his face, he must be looking forward to it. The man continued to say, I have always been waiting for a man like you. These two kept teasing, which made Ralph shy, when was I like that? When he looked over, he saw Millie giving a scarf to William, making Ralph's mood drop. Then he turned away, not wanting to look anymore, damn it. Seeing Ralph leave made the brown-haired knight worried. What should we do now, The person next to him quickly blamed, Hey, it's all because of you. Leah looked down from above at the knights leaving, looking at the group gradually moving away, which made Leah remember the day when everyone came back. Those images made Leah feel a slight sadness. Leah was really worried and said to Millie, It's strange, last time, I wasn't so worried, why does this conquest feel so uneasy? Millie quickly told her the answer, It's probably because your feelings have become deeper. When leaving the city, William didn't forget to remind, Your Majesty. Your scarf, but Miklock didn't take off the scarf, but shouted, Silence. She was really saddened, My feelings have become more intense. The next day, when Leah was reading documents, someone informed her, Your Highness, you have a guest. Hearing this, Leah was surprised. A guest? Robbie had arrived in front of the Fritten Palace. He looked up with expectant eyes. Leah. As soon as they met, Robbie couldn't help but hug her tightly. Leah. Seeing him here also made Leah happy, Robbie, but at this time, she noticed Colin's discomfort. So she quickly separated with a forced smile, I'm glad you came, Robbie, you must be tired, come inside quickly. Seeing the distance in Leah's actions made Robbie sad. Then he could only force a smile and rub his head, After sitting down, Leah immediately asked with concern about Robbie's father, Is Count Stone still okay? He quickly replied, he was planning to leave the capital to return to the territory, but now he's back to suck up to His Majesty. Hearing this made her laugh. As expected, Count Stone, an ambitious person. At this time, Leah took a sip of tea and wondered, Have I been thinking too much? It's normal for a childhood friend to visit without a reason, I'm really overthinking everything. Then Leah spoke up again, so then. Seeing that she wanted to say something, Robbie was confused. She couldn't help but ask about the Marquis situation, is the Uskal Marquis territory still okay? After saying this, Leah realized that she had asked too much. Of course it's okay, I just, suddenly became curious, that's all. Robbie became hesitant. That. Seeing him speak hesitantly like this made Leah curious. What's wrong? Robbie informed the current situation of the Marquis's territory. Actually, Haley has become a concubine of the king in your place. Leah was shocked after hearing this. What? She couldn't help but grit her teeth uncomfortably and cursed inwardly, that damn Marquis, even if he's blinded by money, he can't offer his own daughter. Leah clenched her fist. Haley. She remembered being bullied by Haley in the past. At that time, she slapped her straight in the face and scolded, "Ugh, you're so annoying." Then she demanded, "Hey, how many times do I have to say it, don't block my way?" Leah looked up at this time. Then she was ridiculed by Haley, acting like you belong here, you fake. Finally, Leah seemed to be completely disappointed in the Marquis family. Haley, you're their real daughter. She was really worried for Haley. Can that arrogant girl survive in the royal palace? Although this feeling is not pleasant, there's nothing I can do. Leah didn't want to think about that anymore, so she stood up suddenly and exclaimed, "Ugh, I suddenly lost interest." She quickly suggested, "Let's go do something fun, there's a place I want to show you." Robbie was a little surprised to hear that. A place? Leah smiled affirmatively and invited, let's go." As soon as they arrived at the library, Robbie was overwhelmed. Wow. That's great, there are so many books that I've never seen before. Leah was very satisfied to see this expression of his. Right, that's why I almost lived here for a while. Then Leah took out some books and introduced them to Robbie. Look, Robbie, they even have the books that we studied with Professor Pallet. His eyes lit up and he affirmed, "Oh, you're right." Suddenly, Leah remembered Professor Pallet's handsome face. Looking at these things reminds me of the time we studied in his class. At this time, Robbie remembered, speaking of that, I actually ran into Professor Pallet last month. Leah was curious after hearing this. Really, how is he? He quickly updated, he retired and is living a simple life in a nearby rural area. I brought him some things. But he only accepted food, nothing else. She couldn't help but laugh and exclaim after hearing this. Sounds like him, well, that's one of his charms. At this time, Robbie wondered, Leah, by the way, where is the King of Fritain? I should pay my respects to him too. Leah hesitated after hearing this. Mick. Just hearing Leah's way of addressing him made his jaw drop. You call him by name? Leah saw that Robbie was too surprised, so she stopped him. Wait. Then he realized something, wait. Then Robbie said as if questioning, did he go on a conquest? Leaving you here alone? Leah worriedly affirmed, She was now contemplating. Maybe I shouldn't mention that it's because of the black dragons. After thinking, Leah turned to understand for Micklock, well, he's busy, so there's no other way. But Robbie didn't accept that, even so. He began to contemplate. Leaving Leah alone in a foreign country just to continue pursuing battles, the rumors must be true, he really is a warmonger. So Leah has to stay in Fritain because she's very afraid of him. Thinking of this, his mood quickly dropped. Leah also noticed that detail. So Robbie really doesn't like Mick, huh? Well, considering their first meeting. Suddenly, she clenched her fist and decided, okay, let's go. While here, I will show Robbie all the good sides of Mick. Robbie decided something else. I must help Leah escape from him. And coming to round one. As soon as the two sat at the table, Robbie began to ask, Leah, His Majesty is often away like this, you must always eat alone, right? Hearing this, Leah ate while answering, yes, kind of like that, Mick is often out doing subjugation. Hearing this, Robbie became more and more affirmed, that's right. Leah must be very lonely here. But then she added, but whenever Mick is at the palace, we always eat together. Robbie paused after hearing this, is that so? So the attack failed. At this time, Leah ate while telling him about Micklock's good points, and Mick's favorite dish is steak with asparagus, but he absolutely refuses to eat cucumbers. Just like you, Robbie. Those words made Robbie really helpless. Really? She became happy with the thought, they have something in common, so maybe Robbie will feel closer. And Robbie lost round one. Continuing to round two. As soon as they went outside, Robbie trembled. Fritain is too cold, how can people live here? Leah was a little surprised to hear that. Robbie, are you cold? Then he became flustered, I guess so, Fritain is indeed quite cold. Seeing Leah's expression like this made Robbie think he was about to win, that's right. Leah, let's leave this cold place and go back south together. But as soon as they entered, a rush of hot air came, which made him blank. Leah excitedly said, but look, Robbie, the greenhouse is super warm. And these yellow roses, Mick planted them all for me, isn't he very sweet? Robbie didn't seem to be able to answer. Is that so, is that so? Then Leah added. Ah, right, I plucked some because they reminded me of you. And Robbie lost round 2. Next coming to round 3. Robbie reassured himself, okay, calm down, Leah probably won't honestly say that she wants to escape, so. He started talking. But Leah. Recently, I've been putting cucumbers on my face when I go to sleep. Leah was a little surprised to hear this. Oh, really? Then Robbie began to attack with his appearance. How do I look? Do I look any better than before? He was excited that Leah's weakness was handsome guys, so if he became more attractive, she might follow him. Hearing this, Leah quickly jumped up, wanting to see. Let me see. But when she got closer, Robbie became shy. Both were staring at each other. After a while, Leah quickly praised, "Wow, haha, your skin is so smooth, I should do this for Mick too." These words really completely petrified Robbie. He froze completely and exclaimed, "Great." Leah was still single-mindedly loyal to Micklock's beauty. If Mick becomes even more handsome, then Robbie will also like him. And so, Robbie Stone completely lost. The two played from morning to afternoon, then Leah wondered, by the way, in Fritton, there's a black horse named Bloodstorm, right? Ah, right, Bloodstorm is Mick's horse, anyway, that horse. While walking, Robbie suddenly paused. Then reminded, Leah, that's enough. She turned back confused. Huh? She immediately came closer with concern, what do you mean? At this time, Robbie said, do you know what everything you've told me since coming here is about? It's all about the King of Fritton. Leah wanted to explain, I just thought that you and Mick, but Robbie didn't care about that, I don't care about your husband's eating preferences or how great he is. Seeing that he was about to turn away, Leah quickly stopped him. Robbie, but he didn't want to listen anymore and decided, I'm going back to my room. If you need anything, before Robbie could leave, Leah quickly stopped him, Robbie, wait. Then Leah said, don't tell me that. Could it be that you? Robbie thought Leah realized something, so he was very worried. Damn it, did she realize? Of course, I've been too obvious. He was about to admit, yes, the truth is, but unexpectedly Leah blurted out, I know, you want to get closer to Mick. These words completely stunned Robbie. Huh? Seeing that she was misunderstanding too deeply, he wanted to stop her. Wait, Leah, what are you talking about? But Leah didn't listen at all and kept indulging in her own thoughts. No, I understand, you must want to ask him yourself, but I told you about Mick first, you must be uncomfortable. Friends should get to know each other naturally, but I was so ignorant. Reasonable, he is your best friend's husband. Robbie trembled in anger. It's not like that, but Leah kept rambling, so you're still thinking about how everything ended that day and decided you want to befriend him this time, right? He wanted to say, I said it's not like that. But before he could say anything, Leah grabbed Robbie's face and affirmed, don't worry, Robbie. She affirmed one thing, when Mick comes back, I will talk to him seriously. Robbie was embarrassed, wait, this is too close. Leah kept rambling unnecessary things, about how you are such a kind and wonderful friend, and how happy I was in Haroon, all thanks to my only friend. Hearing these words made him feel familiar. Then she continued, once Mick realizes what a wonderful friend you are, he will definitely like you, or you two can become friends and spend time together with cucumber slices on your faces, okay? He shook Leah's hand away from his face. You. Then he cried out, let me go. Robbie was really heartbroken, she really doesn't understand my feelings at all. Seeing Robbie's mood in a mess made Leah still unable to understand. Robbie is still uncomfortable after all. At this time, she glanced over. Then said, Robbie, if you want to go back to rest, I won't stop you, but before that, please come to my study. Being suddenly invited to the study surprised him. What? Your study, why? Leah didn't say anything, but smiled brightly. When arriving at the study, Leah kept searching, where did I put it? Robbie was idle while Leah was looking for something, so he observed, so this is Leah's study, she certainly seems to be doing better here than when she was at the Marquis's mansion. That means all the praises that she gave to the King of Fritton before, are really sincere? If that's the case, then I. While thinking, Leah's voice interrupted, found it. Robbie couldn't understand, what are you looking for anyway? At this time, Leah took out a brooch. I was going to. He took the brooch, a little puzzled. A brooch? Leah explained, I was planning to send it with a letter, but when I heard you were coming, I thought it would be better to give it to you in person. It's not too expensive, but I spent most of my slush fund on it. These words really moved Robbie. Then Leah quickly requested, but don't tell anyone that I still have a slush fund, okay? Robbie had taken the brooch, but there was still something he hadn't received. So where's the letter? Leah was taken aback by his question. Huh? Robbie didn't forget to repeat, you said you were going to send it with a letter, where's the letter? At this, she turned away with a pale face. Ah, that letter, she thought, if I say I forgot to write it, he'll definitely sulk again. Then, she stammered, oh, I did write a letter but I think I lost it. I'll write another one and send it later, I promise. This quickly stirred up Robbie's animosity. I knew it, that King Fritten must have stopped it. He's never liked us being so close like this from the start, it's too obvious. Seeing that he was in a bad mood, Leah was flustered. You don't like it? Robbie quickly denied it. Huh? No, I mean, I like it. Having said that, he immediately pinned it onto his clothes. Then, he smiled and asked Leah, so, how does it look? As soon as she looked, she immediately praised, it suits you very well. After that, Leah continued to flatter him, the pin is really like an accent, it makes your whole face light up. These words made Robbie feel like he was drowning in honey, hee. After appeasing Robbie, Leah then wondered, so, you're not angry anymore, are you? He was taken aback by the question, huh? Then, he finally remembered, ah, right, I was just angry, huh? Leah stammered to explain, as I said, when Mick gets back, I'll talk to him. But Robbie quickly refused, no, there's no need. This made her sad, oh, really? After talking about her matters, Leah then waved her hand and requested, then let's talk about you come here. Robbie was surprised, me? When Robbie came closer and sat down next to her, Leah quickly said, you said I only talk about myself, so, how have you been lately? Still stuck in the library? He quickly replied, me? Not really, I've been going there less lately. Leah was a little surprised to hear this, what? But we used to go there all the time. Robbie revealed, well, it's just not as fun as it used to be. Leah worried, still avoiding social gatherings? No young lady caught your eye? But when she looked at Leah, Robbie felt uncomfortable. Leah, do you realize, my life has been really dry lately? Hearing that question, he quickly revealed, young ladies? I don't have anyone. Seeing Robbie being so bored, Leah immediately advised, oh, come on, that's so boring. Robbie pondered, when you left, I really understood that. Leah immediately turned pale, aren't your standards too high? Isn't there anyone who catches your attention? You're worse than me, even the little things make me happy. He then admitted without any objection, well, I guess my standards are a bit high, because I have you by my side. As the sky gradually darkened, Robbie walked down the hallway and automatically paid attention to his own appearance. Then, he remembered Leah's praise, really, it suits you very well, you're really handsome. But it was all Robbie's imagination. Robbie started to wonder, so yellow suits me? Then he hesitated, maybe I should change my style, would Leah? Just as he was about to return to his room, Robbie saw Millie. He quickly called out, Millie. As soon as she saw him, Millie immediately greeted, ah, young master, good evening. Robbie approached and inquired, I've been a bit busy lately so I haven't been able to greet you properly, are you well? Millie affirmed, yes, of course. But it's so late. Why aren't you asleep yet? He honestly revealed, ah, actually I was looking for you. Knowing that Robbie was looking for her, she couldn't understand, me? Then Robbie became hesitant, wanting to know, can you tell me the truth? About Leah, is King Fritten threatening her? Millie didn't understand what Robbie was trying to say, threatening? He started to improvise, yes, threatening. Leah spent the whole day praising King Fritten, his face must be her type, even so. King Fritten is a tyrant and a warmonger, there's no way Leah would like a forced marriage with someone like that. Suddenly hearing this, Millie couldn't help but laugh. Then she exclaimed, so the queen was just praising his majesty? That's so cute. Seeing Millie's actions being too incomprehensible made Robbie worried and he called out, Millie. At this, she quickly revealed, but it makes sense, King Micklock looks at the queen as if she's the most precious thing in the world. Ah, the love between a talented man and a beautiful woman. Robbie still didn't understand, what? Millie started to add, before he went to battle, the two of them were almost inseparable, not wanting to be apart for even a minute. The more he heard, the more panicked he became. Wait, are you saying they shared a bed? She affirmed this and added, of course, for 3 days, they didn't leave the bedroom. These words really shocked Robbie. He tried to calm himself, no way, that man must have forced Leah. Millie hurriedly denied, no, young master, you may not see it but they're really in love. His Majesty treats the queen very well, even those around us, can't help but feel warm-hearted. The more he heard, the more Robbie seemed unable to endure it and he stopped her, stop. But she didn't listen and continued to say, sometimes, just looking at them makes my heart beat faster. Seeing that she didn't listen and kept talking made Robbie uncomfortable and he shouted loudly. Stop it. Seeing Robbie's fierce reaction just now made Millie worried. Young master. He seemed unwilling to listen anymore and turned away. Millie, I'm tired, I'm going back first. Hearing this, she could only see him off. Ah yes, please be careful, young master. Seeing Robbie leave made Millie unable to understand. Why did he suddenly act like that? Robbie walked down the hallway, determined not to believe. No way, Leah is in love? With that bastard? No, no way. That's for sure. At this, Robbie remembered himself as a child. As soon as he stepped into the garden, he discovered, here it is. When he crawled into the bushes, he was puzzled. How did the ball roll all the way here? But at this, Robbie looked down. And immediately discovered Leah, startled. Then he actively made friends. What's your name? Seeing that Leah didn't answer, Robbie sat next to her and observed. Is she shy? She hasn't said a word. Judging by her clothes, she seems to be a noble, but who is she? I've been scolded by my father all the time for memorizing families, so how could there be a noble young lady that I don't know? Her hair color is really unique, she's really beautiful too. When Leah looked over with teary eyes, it made Robbie shy and turn away. Oops. At that time, he was really shy with the girl he had just met. Back in the present, when Robbie looked at the pin in his hand, he remembered Millie's affirmations. They're really in love. Robbie kept asking himself, Leah, that's not true, is it? The next morning, Millie kept asking, Your Majesty the Queen, what about this necklace? Leah didn't know how to choose either. I'm not sure either. Millie was really envious. His Majesty gave you so much jewelry and clothing before going to battle, even coordinating the outfits is troublesome enough. Leah smiled, feeling like it was true. Then Millie decided, okay, then let's try something else. Then she started to get creative. Maybe purple would suit you, Your Majesty, or should we choose something bold and eye-catching? Leah was also very thoughtful. Then she quickly refused. Forget it, I'll choose a simple necklace. But at this moment, Colin rushed in and called out loudly, Your Majesty the Queen. Seeing him so flustered made Leah confused. Colin? What's wrong? Colin wouldn't barge in without knocking. At this, Colin urgently came in to announce, Your Majesty the Queen. The delegation from the Kingdom of Malo has arrived. Hearing this, Leah realized, oh, now that he mentions it, that's right, the chief did say that the delegation from the Kingdom of Malo would arrive. Leah calmly replied. They're here earlier than expected, is there a reason? He immediately revealed, the chief has checked the tributes according to procedure and verified the receipt. But the princess, the representative of the delegation, suddenly requested to meet His Majesty so, now that His Majesty is not here, what should we do? Before that, Shane smiled and made a request. In that case, could you arrange a room for me? We'll have to stay in the Fritten Palace until His Majesty returns. Then she tried to show off her charm. I came to present the treasures of Malo that His Majesty left behind when he was in Malo. Anyway, I have to come back to return it. And if possible, please give me a room close to His Majesty's room. So the chief asked me to quickly invite the Queen to the reception room. Leah quickly interrupted and called out, Millie. Then, feeling competitive, she said, This seems a little too simple. Millie also felt the same way. Yes, so which one should we choose? Leah reluctantly ordered, I think, bring me the most gorgeous one. Shane on this side was leisurely, relaxedly enjoying tea. Then she curled her lips and looked down on them. Fritten doesn't seem that special, huh? The chief, who seemed flustered just because of one sentence, immediately called the Queen. At that time Xenon was very hesitant. The treasures of Malo, could it be? Hurry up, quickly invite the Queen over. Shane showed a disdainful attitude. It's no exaggeration but, it must be because the Queen is also hasty just like him that the chief is acting like this. As soon as the thought ended, there was an announcement, Her Majesty the Queen has arrived. Shane at this time looked over. And was taken by surprise. What's going on? Leah at this time looked so beautiful that Shane couldn't resist. She's even more beautiful than me after transforming. At this time, she looked up. And saw Shane stand up. She thought, so this is the reason why King Fritten didn't fall for me back then? No, but maybe she only has her looks. Thinking of this, Shane quickly smiled and greeted, then, may I present myself to Her Majesty the Queen. Leah also came forward to welcome Princess Shane. Currently King Miklock is absent, so I came to welcome the princess in his place. She also understood this. Yes, I heard about that, so, I want to stay in Fritten until he returns. But when she heard this, she covered her mouth and laughed insincerely. I heard that the purpose of the Malo delegation's visit is to present tributes, but it seems like you have other purposes as well, huh? Shane was not to be outdone and retorted, because the farewell in Malo was too sudden, so, I thought I could take this opportunity to chat. What we served him that night was quite rare. It was myself who wanted to meet him again. To serve that again, Shane was very smug and complacent. You know I'm more beautiful than you, right? Hearing this, Leah just smiled brightly and retorted, "Ah, I understand." Shane was extremely excited. How is it? My super beautiful melting smile, right? At this time, Leah suddenly spoke, but in Malo. It seems that guests are sometimes given things they never asked for, huh? These words made her uncomfortable. Then, she didn't hold back anymore and shouted loudly, "Never asked for? Whether he wants it or not, I'll ask His Majesty directly." Leah was also a little curious. Is it really necessary to ask directly? If the service that the princess mentioned is really as rare and wonderful as you said, Princess Shane. Suddenly Leah came closer and put her hand on Shane's shoulder. Then she whispered, "Then why did my husband rush into my arms so eagerly?" These words made her freeze. Her whole body trembled and she couldn't refute. Leah quickly ordered, "Please escort the delegation to the private rooms in the South Palace, and make sure they are comfortable during their stay." Zenon quickly obeyed, "Yes, Your Majesty." Then Leah didn't forget to add, "If they're so eager to meet His Majesty, then I should also arrange an audience for them." Finally, Leah turned back to remind, "By the way, His Majesty has gone to war, so it's unclear when he will return. Please stay as long as you like." She looked at Shane's annoyed appearance and began to wonder, so, she was with Mick before he even met me? But when Leah remembered the scene of the two of them holding hands and hugging affectionately, then remembered the eyes full of love, she became uncomfortable. Then, "Please rest comfortably." Leah refused to believe, no way that would happen. When she arrived at the room, Shane was very angry and threw all the things away. Then she kept scolding, "So annoying, she's so lucky, she's noble, and she's the queen." Jalman quickly stopped her, "Please calm down, Princess Shane." But she didn't seem to be able to calm down. "How can I calm down?" He wondered, "Could it be that you've really fallen for the King of Fritain?" Shane gasped in surprise when she heard this question. "What?" Then she madly cursed, "Are you crazy? I would like a man who doesn't even recognize my beauty? I'm just annoyed because I'm losing to that queen's face." Jalman was also very helpless after hearing this. "I knew it." Suddenly Shane shouted loudly, "Answer me, Jalman." He was confused, "What are you saying?" She suddenly grabbed Jalman's collar. Then seriously asked, "Her, or me, who is more beautiful?" He seemed to have succumbed to her and stammered, "Yes." Then shyly affirmed, "Of course it's Your Highness who is more beautiful." Shane quickly retorted, "You just hesitated, you just paused." Jalman tried to explain, "That's not true. I was just momentarily fascinated by the princess's beauty, so I was a little distracted." Shane heard this. Then she adjusted his collar and let it go. "Okay, if you say so, then I'll let it go this time, thank you." After letting go of Jalman, Shane still turned away and kept scolding, If it weren't for my father's orders, I wouldn't have let this humiliation pass so easily. I will definitely defeat that woman and take the position next to the King of Fritain." Jalman came forward and wondered, "Are you really planning to wait for him to return? You don't know when he'll be back." She sat down on the chair, annoyed, "Ugh. So annoying, who would have thought that he would go to war? Now that I mention it, the rumors about the king doting on the queen must be exaggerated, otherwise how could he leave the queen and go to battle again right after returning? Just wait and see, as soon as he comes back, I will seduce him properly." Suddenly Jalman pushed up his glasses. Then solemnly affirmed, "It will definitely be okay, Your Highness." His Majesty Haroon on this side was not taking care of state affairs but playing with his concubines. Come here, okay." While he was playing, the guard entered to report, "Your Majesty, today Her Highness Haley has personally brought tea for you again." He was quickly taken by surprise. "Haley?" Then His Majesty immediately refused, "Don't you see I'm busy? Tell her to come later." But at this time, Haley had already entered with a coquettish tone, "Your Majesty." She smiled to remind, "I'm here, you know." When the red smoke was smelled by His Majesty, he was mesmerized. "Oh ho." He stood up to welcome, "Haley, you've arrived. If you had waited a little longer, I would have come to find you myself." Haley quickly replied, "But you miss me so much. How could I wait here?" His Majesty quickly came forward and said, "Come on, sit down." She happily said, "Thank you." The two concubines saw this and left. When the two sat down, he immediately praised, "The tea you brewed is really delicious, lately I keep craving it." Haley heard this and asked to confirm, "Oh my. Really? I'm so happy, it's an honor to know that my tea pleases Your Majesty. If so, then the effort has been rewarded." His Majesty reached out and touched her but, yes, anyway, Haley. You look so gorgeous today." At this time, Haley felt very happy to be able to control him. But as soon as she finished her work and returned to the room, Haley quickly ordered, Yulan, prepare the bath immediately. She felt uncomfortable all over her body. That withered old man is as clingy as a leech, it gives me goosebumps. Yulan also respectfully replied, the bath is ready, Your Highness. Haley heard this and smiled in praise, it's ready? I knew I could trust you, Yulan, then I guess I'll go take a bath right away. She wondered, do you need anything else, Your Highness? Haley quickly revealed, that's right, I see that the perfume is running out, can you get more? Yulan quickly took the empty bottle, of course, please give me the bottle. At this time, she was a little curious, but seriously, how can you find such strange things? It's really disgusting, but since I used this perfume, that old man has been fascinated by me. If I continue to appear a little more often, he will come running like a dog every time I call. Yulan heard this and was delighted, I'm happy when Your Highness is happy. Haley was still a little curious, but do I really have to bring tea every day? We have perfume already, what's the big deal? She immediately explained, the effect of perfume is only temporary. It only works when he smells it directly. It may take a while for the tea to take effect, but once he's addicted, he won't be able to live without it. It's very powerful. Its addictive effect will help protect you when you're in danger, Your Highness, just endure a little longer, consider it a precaution. Finally, Haley had to accept, okay, I'll do as you say. Suddenly she praised, since I met you, everything has been going so well, really, life has finally gotten better. These words made Yulan pause. Then she spoke up, you seem really satisfied with everything that's happening. Haley seemed to be controlled by greed and immediately denied, satisfied? No way, it's far from enough. My plan hasn't even started yet. On Miklock's side, William immediately asked the kid, show your respect, this is King Miklock. That kid immediately hesitated, hello. Miklock came forward to ask about the situation, so, can you tell me what happened that night? The boy then recounted what he had witnessed. After dinner, I secretly snuck up to the hill behind the house, away from my parents. Then, suddenly, a giant monster appeared in the sky and breathed fire. In an instant, the whole village turned into a sea of fire. He wondered, why did you secretly sneak up there at that time? The boy immediately explained, my friend said there was something extremely amazing he wanted to show me. Miklock was puzzled, amazing? At this time, the boy smiled and said, yeah, it's a ball that looks super mysterious, there are 2 of them, transparent, glowing gently, about the size of a fist. My friend said they are the eyes of a baby dragon, cool, right? Everyone was shocked to hear this. Ralph couldn't help but shout, what? You never told us about that. The boy then stammered, well, you didn't ask, how would I know? Then Miklock asked further, so what did you guys do with them? The boy quickly replied, we buried them under the biggest tree on the hill, my friend said we absolutely couldn't let adults find out. He quickly signaled for William to go find those eyes. The boy continued the story, then, the monster burned down the whole village, so I couldn't go back, but at that time my friend laughed and said something I didn't understand. Man will never forget this grudge. These words surprised Miklock. Then he grabbed the boy's shoulders, wanting to confirm, what's your friend's name? The boy was startled by the question. After hearing everything, William really couldn't understand, how could the heir to the Mayan tribe appear in that place? We don't know anything about the name Ludic except for the name. At this time, Miklock gritted his teeth and repeated, his name is Ludic, Ludic Mayan, the heir to the Mayan tribe. Before that, Miklock had asked further, how did you meet him? The boy immediately said, about a month ago, Ludic fainted right outside the village, he said he was attacked by bad guys. So we hid him in the village. Then he asked again, what does Ludic look like? The boy replied, he's about my height, red eyes, and has a big scar on his face. Ralph was really confused, could it be that he actually gouged out the baby dragon's eyes just to lure your majesty here? Miklock didn't rule anything out, if he's the last survivor of a tribe that was massacred, living only to take revenge, then he can do anything. William went for a while and then ran in to call out, Your Majesty. We dug in the right place that the boy mentioned, and found this. In his hand was some kind of package. As soon as he saw it, Miklock seemed to recognize it. Then he immediately affirmed, this is definitely the eyeball of a black dragon. He wondered, there's only one? Where's the other one? William also didn't know, that's all we could find. Also all the trees around, all of them were cut down, and they all point in the same direction, northeast, it looks like someone deliberately marked the way. After hearing this, Miklock quickly instructed, William, choose 10 knights, we will chase after him. Preserve this eye in ice and seal it safely. William hurriedly stopped him. This is clearly a trap, you should bring more knights from the Wind Canyon. But Miklock insisted on not listening. Even if it's not fully grown, a dragon is still a dragon. After losing one eye, it will definitely be more ferocious. We can't let the Wind Canyon's defense line weaken. William then had to obey, understood. At this time, he made a judgment: that child is no ordinary person. Princess Shane can change her appearance at will, it's very likely that he can do that too. Suddenly the boy said loudly, Seeing the boy's reaction made Miklock confused. What is it? The boy immediately wondered, Ludic, did he do anything wrong? He didn't do anything wrong. Ludic lost his family because of the bad guys. He said he would punish them. So we should also punish the bad guys. Suddenly Miklock came forward and patted the boy's head. You're right. Then he smiled and affirmed, I will personally talk to Ludic. I will take care of this, don't worry. After saying that, he quickly ordered, Ralph, protect this child. Yes, Your Majesty. Miklock ordered, we will go to the northeast. We have received their invitation, we must go properly. Arriving at the place to go, Miklock was quickly stunned. What the hell is this? William immediately came forward to inquire, wait, hey, what happened here? As soon as the woman saw the knights, she pleaded, Sir Knight, you've arrived, thank God, my child, please help me find my child. William was confused, your child? The woman immediately recounted, just last night they were sleeping soundly, but this morning they all disappeared. I searched the whole village, but there's no trace of them. But at this time a loud shout warned, speak carefully, don't be rude to the knight. He just appeared and introduced himself, I am the village chief, if you don't mind. Would you be willing to listen to what happened? Miklock quickly came forward and asked directly, how many children are missing? The village chief quickly gave the number, 13, all 13 children in the village disappeared overnight. He frowned upon hearing this, first adults, now children, these monsters are not even as good as beasts. Thinking, Miklock began to ask more, have any strangers come to the village recently? Very likely their name is Ludic Mayan. The village chief quickly wondered. Ludic, do you mean that young man with terrifying power? The more he heard, the more confused he became, terrifying power? The village chief quickly affirmed, yes, he was from outside the village so we were very cautious. But after seeing him break the ice on the Darlan River and fill the water into the bucket in just a few seconds, we hired him. Now that you mention it, he always took water at dawn, but he didn't show up today. Do you think he's behind this? Miklock wasn't sure of anything, we'll find out soon, where is he? The village chief quickly revealed, there's an abandoned cabin at the end of the Darlan River, I believe he lives there. Miklock was extremely uncomfortable in his heart. Damn it, that's the road we just passed, is he playing us? He quickly ordered, we'll go out again. The knights immediately said in unison, understood, Your Majesty. At this time, the village chief was stunned, wait, Your Majesty, do you mean King Miklock, Your Majesty? That woman suddenly ran over and called out, village chief. Then she announced, village chief, I found my child, my Junie. The village chief was surprised and turned back, what? Where's Junie? The woman hugged her daughter and cried her eyes out. I heard a faint cry and went up to the attic, she was hidden in a basket in the corner of the room, oh. Thank the goddess must have been watching over us. Even so, the village chief still couldn't understand, why would they only leave one of the 13 children behind? But anyway, thank the goddess, we found Junie. Suddenly the village chief realized something. Then he quickly thought, that means there are only 12 children missing, if someone spreads the wrong number then who knows how that misinformation could be used. I have to report to His Majesty immediately. On this side, Miklock had observed the place where Ludic lived and frowned, tch. Then he looked at the traces on the ice and wondered, he broke the ice on the river to get water? Miklock stood up and affirmed one thing, no one can do that without fire magic. Suddenly William called out, Your Majesty, look over there, over there. It must be the hut that the village chief mentioned. As he ran to the house, Miklock warned, the ice may break, cross the river in small groups. Inside the house, a cry for help suddenly rang out, please, save us. Suddenly Miklock circled back, making William worried, Your Majesty, why are you suddenly going somewhere? He came forward and kicked the door open. Then he quickly found the children tied up and crying on this side, please, save us. William wanted to rush in and save the children, it's the children, we have to save them right away. But Miklock stopped him, wait. Looking at the cart hovering on the cliff, Miklock immediately warned, it seems that he has calculated the weight and tied the children up, just one mistake is enough to make them fall straight down the cliff. Below was bottomless deep water. Then William decided, we need to tie the cart with ropes and tie it to the nearby trees. But there were no trees around, making him more uncomfortable, damn it, he must have calculated it all. He immediately requested, call all 10 Fritten knights here. William didn't know what Miklok was trying to do. Yes sir, what do you mean? He now looked out and ordered, make sure the carriage doesn't fall off the cliff, hold it tight. Seeing Miklok risking his life like this made William worried and he hurriedly stopped him. Wait, your majesty. He immediately ordered the knights, quickly hold the cart, you, go and hold the cart. He went inside and asked the child, are you okay? The child quickly replied, yes. William was so scared that he ran out of tears, but he still didn't forget his mission, remove the door of the car completely, when the children come out, be careful to pick them up. He cursed in his heart, damn it, that crazy guy wants me to die soon. After the children were rescued, Miklok quickly ordered, come and check the condition of the children. After checking for a while, William quickly reported, they're all fine, we currently have 12 people, this number will match the number when the last child is added. At this time a person ran over. Then he kept panting to announce, Sir Knight, it's wrong. William was confused, what's wrong, who is it? That person wanted to say, Sir Knight. The number of missing children is not 13. But 12. These words startled Miklok. Then he remembered the red-haired child tied up in it and wondered, then who is that? On Ralph's side. He now didn't see the boy anymore and asked the other knights, hey, where did the kid go? The other knights didn't seem to know the situation either. I don't know either, isn't he there? Back on this side, Miklok came in front of the child being tied up, Then he looked into Liddick's eyes and wondered, you, aren't you the heir of the Mayan tribe? You arranged this because you wanted to talk clearly with me? At this time, Liddick became resentful, I have lost my entire family. I will not forgive you. Just saying, on the boy, a dazzling golden light radiated. Then it quickly exploded. And fell straight down. Returning to Robbie after a sleepless night, he became haggard, in the end, I couldn't even doze off. Even at that time. Even then, she looked so happy. Finally, he sat hunched over and admitted, well, now that I think about it, he really is handsome, should I really be happy for Leah for her happiness? But Robbie was still very confused, no matter how much I think about it, I can't find the answer. From outside, Millie's voice echoed in, young master, are you awake yet? I came to inform you that the queen has invited you to dine. Robbie was surprised to hear this, Leah. Then he quickly left the room in high spirits, that's right, wallowing in sadness won't solve anything, right now, the person here isn't that brat, but me. Maybe Millie is misunderstanding, I have to hear it directly from Leah. When Robbie looked through the window, he saw Leah. Then he wondered, isn't that Leah? Didn't she invite me to dine? She must be taking a walk, because she didn't think I would come so early. Robbie quickly changed direction, I'll go first. Startling the maid, the dining room is in that direction. At this time, Robbie ran down with determination, but how can I persuade Leah, I have to look more handsome. So then, from now on, I will gradually show my feelings to her. Thinking of this, he smiled brightly and called out, Leah. Robbie asked, why are you here? Then he quickly backed away and screamed, making Shane confused, what is it? He pointed at her and stammered, why you? Seeing Robbie's expression like this made Shane uncomfortable, hey, I'm the one who should be shocked, what are you shocked about? Then she quickly realized something, wait, did you just mention Leah? I understand, what a cunning woman. Seeing his friend being slandered, he quickly got angry, you, who are you talking about? At this time, Shane introduced herself, I am Princess Shane, the representative of the delegation from the Kingdom of Malo. And exactly who are you, you just harassed me. Robbie was suddenly accused, so he quickly resisted, harassed? I am Robbie of the Stone family of the Haroon Empire. Then he quickly apologized, I am very sorry for my rude behavior earlier, I mistook you for someone else. Shane didn't seem to care much, oh well, even though I'm not innocent either. But you're really bold, coming all the way here when the king is away. Robbie was confused, what do you mean by that? Shane quickly gave an answer, why are you so defensive, we're in the same situation, you know, maybe you should be a little more friendly. He still didn't understand what she was trying to say, same situation, what exactly do you mean? Shane didn't say much and showed understanding, you can't fool anyone, I can see through you. Then she bluntly declared, I am vying for the position of the King of Fritton's lover, but, soon, I will take the position of queen, even though the king is a little distant from me. But he will soon fall in love with me, what about you? These words shocked Robbie, what? He stammered, what do you mean, what's my situation? Shane at this time said, I said I understand your situation. Then she fabricated a story, you are the queen's secret lover, right? Don't be content with just that, why not aim for the position of that woman's husband? Robbie seemed to still pretend not to understand anything, what are you talking about? Shane quickly provoked, here it is, the typical shallow pride of a secret lover. If you need help, just say it. It would be good if we could help each other in this situation. After saying that, she left, leaving Robbie alone with a lot of confusing thoughts. Me, the queen's secret lover? Where did this crazy argument come from? But wait, who is that woman? Is she really the king's lover? Wait, so. Does that mean that guy is playing with Leah? As soon as Shane returned, she angrily threw the dress away and shouted, "What a hateful woman." The more I think about it, the more ridiculous it is. Jolman seemed to have seen something, so he couldn't help but blush. Then he turned back and asked, "What happened?" "You copied the queen's fashion to suit the king's taste." Shane quickly gave up. "Forget it, I don't want to imitate a woman who pretends to be good in front of others but does what she wants behind her back." Jolman was confused. "Behind, what do you mean?" She spoke up again and recounted, "I'm talking about that queen. Even when the king leaves the palace, she brings her lover from her country." These words shocked him in disbelief. "What? No way, how can you say that?" Shane quickly gave an explanation. "I just saw that guy with my own eyes. They were clinging to each other as if they were inseparable. He mistook me for that woman and tried to hug me." She clenched her teeth and reproached, "I bet King Miklock doesn't know anything. If he knew, he definitely wouldn't let it go." Since that day, then the queen. Until those lowly maids. I have always been uncomfortable with the way they secretly look down on me. Now then, what should I do with her? Thinking of this, she showed a sinister smile. On this side, Leah came forward and called, "Robbie." Then she blamed, "What took you so long? Did you oversleep or something?" Robbie heard this and stammered, Yeah, I guess I'm a little tired." Seeing his expression like this made Leah try to make him happy. "Why do you look so listless?" "I'm just kidding, actually, I was a little hungry so I ate dessert first." Robbie was surprised. "Dessert? Now I feel guilty." Leah quickly said, "It's okay, it's raspberry cookies, my favorite, so I'm very happy." As soon as he saw those cookies, Robbie's eyes immediately turned red. Then he remembered when Robbie gave Leah cookies to eat when they were young. "Hey, I brought this along to sneak in later, want to try it?" As soon as she saw the thing in his hand, she was surprised. Raspberry cookies. Hearing Leah's tone made Robbie misunderstand. "Ugh, you don't like it?" It turned out that those were the cookies that Leah's mother made for her to eat. "Leah, come here, are you hungry? Mom made delicious cookies, here's your favorite raspberry cookies." When Leah picked up a cookie to eat, she cried her eyes out, making Robbie worried. "Ugh, why are you crying? Did you bite on grit?" But unexpectedly, she cried even louder, causing Robbie to cry along and keep apologizing. "Don't cry, I'm sorry." After a while, Robbie finally knew the reason why Leah was sitting here crying. "So, you were bullied by that girl named Haley so you ran here?" Then Robbie was angry for Leah. "What the heck, if that's the case, then why did that man bring you here? He must be a bastard." Hearing this, Leah asked, "So that means, I don't have a family?" Robbie immediately jumped up and denied, "No, that's not what I meant." His expression became embarrassed. Then he made a suggestion. "Your name is Leah, right? If it's okay, do you want to study with me?" Hearing this suggestion made Leah stunned. "Study?" Robbie quickly said, "You said that no one has ever introduced a teacher to you, right? The strongest weapon is knowledge, that's what Teacher Pallet said, you have to become smart to take revenge." Then he admitted without any concealment, "Actually, I'm trying to become smart so that I can take revenge on my father, because anyway that's also part of my plan, so I think you can join." Leah really couldn't understand. "Why do you want to take revenge?" Robbie then immediately explained, "My dad keeps telling me to inherit the family, that's a little scary." Leah couldn't help but laugh and tease, "Silly, why do you want to take revenge for that?" Robbie was upset when he was scolded like that. "What, did you just call me silly?" When he saw Leah's innocent smile at that time, it really made Robbie's heart flutter. Then he sat down and asked, "So, in short, are you coming or not?" Leah then stammered, "Did anyone say no? Don't take it back, okay? Of course, you have to come every day." Leah quickly accepted. At that time, Robbie vowed, "I don't care if I look like an idiot, I will definitely not let anyone bully you again." Sinking forever in the past, Leah's call didn't wake him up. Robbie, what's wrong?" Suddenly Robbie stood up and denied, "You're wrong." These words made Leah confused. What do you mean?" He sat down, wanting her to be honest with him. "Don't try to hide it anymore, you're sad because of that woman, right? Princess Shane." Leah was startled when Robbie knew about Shane. How do you know about her?" Then Robbie quickly criticized Miklock, "That's not important, why does your husband have a lover? What the heck is going on?" Leah clenched her hands and asked, Who told you that?" Robbie quickly replied, "She said it herself." Remembering Shane's expression made Leah uncomfortable. That woman really. She scratched her head and denied everything. That's not true. It's all just one-sided words from her. Come on, just eat first. But Robbie didn't listen and slammed the table loudly. How can I swallow it right now? Seeing Robbie being too agitated made Leah unable to understand. Robbie. He angrily repeated, it's been 10 years, the time we've been together, and in those 10 years, my heart has only been directed at you, but if you're happy, then I think I should bless you and him. Damn it, but that guy, he can't treat you like this, how can he do that to you? Leah at this time still didn't understand. Wait, Robbie, what are you talking about? Robbie at this time trembled, wanting to confess everything. I don't want to have to say it like this, not in such a pathetic way. I had planned to keep this a secret forever. Just saying this, he made a decision. Then let's go. Let's go with me to the southern continent. I already have a plan. Let's run away from the Marquis' mansion together. Leah quickly stopped him. Robbie, calm down and listen to me. But he didn't care and grabbed Leah's hand, continuing, even if he's the king of Britain, he can't chase us to the southern continent. I will protect you. Because But at this moment, Leah shouted loudly, as if to draw a clear line, Sir Robbie Stone. Robbie still didn't listen and continued, because he gradually lowered himself. Then he couldn't hold it back anymore and burst into tears and let go of her hand. I'm sorry. Robbie helplessly admitted, I love you, Leah. Hearing this made Leah's heart ache. Seeing him kneeling on the ground. But Leah didn't yield and drew a clear line. Lord Baron, even if you're my friend, this time you've crossed the line. If something like this happens again, I have no choice but to accuse you of insulting the Fritten royal family. I'm not in the mood to eat anymore right now. If there's a chance, I hope we can meet again. Hearing these words made Robbie cry his eyes out. Remembering the past when he was playing with Leah, silly, why do you want to take revenge for that? Then another image, if you go to the academy, we won't be able to be together anymore. Then also her smile, okay, let's dance a song together. Then also planning to run away. Robbie, should we go to the southern continent? Let's run away from here together. But just now Leah said, if there's a chance, I hope we can meet again. Robbie was really heartbroken to the point where tears couldn't stop falling. He could only resign himself to constantly calling Leah's name in his head. Leah.